Yo, what's going on, people? We're back again. WrestlePurists podcast, episode 62. And look who's back. Back up Hangman. He's returned from his hiatus. It's been a minute since he's been on one of these podcasts with us. He's still not showing his face on camera, but there is a face in the corner. And if you didn't know what he looked like, that's what he looks like. But yeah, man, first things first. Back up Hangman, how you doing?
I am doing pretty good, man. I'm really happy to be back, and I'll just kind of get this out the way.
Oh.
I'll get it out the way now. I'm happy to be back, right? And a lot of people asked me why did I step away and what the whole thing was about. And without saying too much specifically, I just want to say that life is very, very difficult, and most of us don't really know what the fuck we're doing, right? And we proceed. No, it's true. And we proceed on a day-to-day basis on a hamster wheel, right? And when you're on the hamster wheel, all you see is like the next little fucking gears turning. And until you jump off it and just kind of watch what's happening, it's hard to really see the bigger picture of what you're doing, right? And so I jumped off, and I can't say that I have any more answers now about what the fuck I'm doing. But one thing that has become clear to me, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but what has become clear to me, and just more reinforced, is that what I have going with this WrestlePurists brand is something that's really, really positive and really cool, and something that I really appreciate. And I appreciate everybody that's worked with me on this brand, including all the men that I'm sharing screen space with right now. And so it's only made me more motivated to come back now in 2023 and do exciting things for the channel. So I appreciate all the people who have sent me messages while I was gone, the people who have showed love since I've come back, and of course I appreciate all my co-hosts and co-podcasters. So love you guys, appreciate everybody. I'm back. I negotiated a deal with Monty on the board. I pushed certain members off the board, and I'm now the controlling majority shareholder. And I'm looking to strike a deal to sell.
You can't lie to the shareholders like that, bro. You can't do it, bro. You can't do it.
I would never violate the.
My favorite part of Backup Hangman's opening essay was the part where he said he went soul searching and found no soul. But
yeah, but what are you gonna do?
We're rocking with it, but
we ball. Yeah, man, I'm happy to be back.
Parker, always a novelty and a pop to see you on a Thursday. Of course, the mature host of Dumb Guy Live. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. I'm apologizing on Ibu's behalf for being this late, 45 minutes late to getting started, but yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, man. It's all, like I said, it's always good to see Parker on a Thursday. If you don't watch Dumb Guy Live on Tuesdays, watch it.
Yeah, watch Dumb Guy Live. Why are you not watching Dumb Guy Live?
Of course, the best till last. Manny the Hooper. So I wish you could have saw what we were seeing Manny do before we went live. But always a pop to have him around. How you doing?
It became nighttime in the time that we waited for Ibu in Manny. It was like light out, and
I can't say what I was watching earlier, but man, it's fine. It's been a long day. I've been playing 8 hours of Star Wars, and now I'm getting ready to watch the Lakers Mavericks. So
8 hours.
Yeah, my eyes were bloodshot red. The only time I did stop was to go get a lasagna.
Is it in the United States? Do like the parents scare the kids by telling them if to stare at the TV too long, the roads will turn square?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a worldwide thing. Okay, I'll just check it. But yeah, man, there's been a lot of news since the last Thursday podcast. There was all the WWE being bought by Saudi stuff, Stephanie resigning. Obviously, there was a huge episode of Dynamite. The lack of Mercedes Moné on said Dynamite. Am I missing that? Yeah, apparently TK and his father are in the running to want to buy WWE. WWE have hired another company to help lead the sale. Stephanie and Triple H apparently opposed said sale. You know, it's been a packed week. But you know, since it's your return week and all that, Backup Hangman, where do you want to start?
Regarding the sale?
No, where do you want to start? Like out of those
in
subjects I was
general.
just listing off. Yeah, man. Where do you want to start?
God,
Giving you the ball, bro. You know, don't fumble.
What are the topics again? I'm sorry.
TK and his father potentially buying
TK.
WWE.
Right.
Steph and Triple H opposing the WWE sale.
Right.
FTR, that's another one as well. FTR obviously taking a break.
All right.
WWE hiring Rain Group to lead the sale with JP Morgan.
Okay.
All kinds of shit, bro.
Most
So
of that
much.
is the same topic. I'll tell you.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, man. Look, at the end of the day, I think it's like very obvious that we don't know any of these people personally, but I think I think at least professionally, it's very clear that Stephanie McMahon, at the very least, is opposed to Vince McMahon. You know, it's just so apparent. If you look at the transcript of the the employee meeting that took place last Friday, and you read between the lines, and you look at the verbiage, Stephanie's talking about like, I know that many of you are probably feeling a lot of animosity. I mean angst about what's happening, and it was very white woman speak for like, this is what I feel right now, and I know we're all pissed off. I know we're all just fucking embarrassed about what's happening, angry. It's like, so there's that, and the report coming out about her opposing a sale. I think it's because at the end of the day, Vince's way, in theory, based off what everybody's saying, Vince's way of kind of completely reassuming power, including creative, is to sell the company to someone who's going to agree to allow him to be in that spot. And so I could see her just being like, this is a fucking power play. Fuck this. Right. We know that in December, the board unanimously voted for him to stay away. They told him, hey, it would not be in the best interest of the shareholders of the company. We have, our investigation has concluded, and we have found, out information that would just look really bad if it came out. And so, translation, please stay away.
When does that come out?
When does what come out? Oh,
that'll be interesting. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah.
No, but can I be honest?
Well, he's fired 3 people, so.
Can I be honest with you guys? I'm at a point now where, like, I don't think anything can stop this guy. Like, he beat the federal government in the 90s with the steroid thing. He's tanked so many allegations, and he just gets away with sexual misconduct. He was forced to retire from his own company and forced his way back in before the year even finished. Like,
oh, that's another thing actually, but I didn't list earlier. Like, obviously, one of the shareholders is trying to sue him. Which when you read into it, it seems like he does have a case, but don't come to WrestlePurists on any sort of law news because I have no idea what I'm talking about. But oh shit, we lost Manor. But yeah, man. Also, more importantly, we've got some super chats and we will get to them, but we cannot go any longer without shouting out Far 5222. Obviously, huge part of big part of the community, big part of the WrestlePurists community. He runs parts of our Discord channel and all that good stuff. He's a good guy, man. Clearly, as you can see, $100 super chat. Shout out to Backup Hangman. Watch them go live and like the video, guys. Love you all and the community. Wrestle cringe is the true cringe.
Real disappointing stuff, but it is what it is.
Wrestle cringe posting. Members of the fam. We can't have that.
It's just wrong, man. It's just bringing uninvited disrespect to someone who doesn't deserve it. So
that person has children.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Shout out Far. Of course, do what he says. Like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, you don't have to send $100 like Far does. But if you're feeling generous and want to send us a super chat, we will get to those as we get through the podcast. But yeah, man, Vince he's looking like Vince is one of the shareholders. He's trying to sue Vince. So I don't know if that's got much validity to it, or like how much weight that carries, or if it, if the guy is going to win against Vince, or but someone has decided they want to sue him, so we'll see if he gets away with that one as well. Probably, because unfortunately, it seems he can get away with everything, like Ibu was just saying. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think, Parker?
Wait, about what specifically?
just this.
This
you know?
is warpath. His fucking warpath.
Yeah, it's like it's insane. Like he's the one and only. Nobody better, nobody worse. He is Vince. We were laughing about some of the stuff about him on the live too. We were laughing about just him in general. I do like the story about him and Gronk doing like testing out a bump, and he's like just do it like this, and he jumps off. It's like
he jumps off a fucking cliff. He's like 76.
Yeah, it's like it's easy.
You know what's crazy about this, Parker? Like, he knows that the board of directors and everybody internally don't want him back. You know, WWE's told Shawn, like, yo, nobody wants him back. The directors put out a fucking formal statement, please stay away. And he's just like, I don't give a shit.
No, I don't think I will.
Yeah,
I don't think I will.
Forces his way back. Steph is already gone. I'm going to ask you this, Parker. How long, honestly, until he just goes, you know what, Hunter? I don't think you're getting it done now. I just don't. I'm not saying it.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what his plan. I think he just likes being Vince, and he likes being the guy in charge. And it doesn't matter. Like, frankly, to him, he's like, who fucking cares if your show sucks and you're not adding any new fans or any shit like that? Like, to him, it's he's insanely profitable, which he is, because live TV is like a rare commodity nowadays that people actually tune in to watch. And so in his eyes, he's like, I'm the best in the world at this. I'm the best who's ever done this, and I like being in charge, and I like that I can have a no sneezing rule and enforce it, and like people just have to listen to me about it. Like, who else in the world has the power to do that? Be like, no, you can't sneeze, otherwise you lose your job.
No sneezing. So
yeah, he just loves
you
it.
You can't use the word hospital.
You can't use the word hospital. It's a local medical facility, and it's not a title. It's not a belt.
The most famous one, or like a recent just egregious one, WrestleMania 2021. The Fiend emerges from a box, and Michael Cole is not allowed to call it a box. He calls it a box-like structure.
Seems to be something like of a box-like structure. Fucking lunatic.
Yeah, he's nuts, bro. Manny, I think you was gonna get something in a minute ago. What was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, before they unanimously voted him in, like, I think a week before, they unanimously kept voting him out, like, to keep him out. So, like, what changed in that 1 week? And then even from the PWI thing that came out earlier, they were just saying that even Triple H is against the sale. So I don't know what he plans on doing.
So
yeah, both of them were out, and then Stephanie just decided to just take her ball and go home because she didn't want to deal with her dad. So now, just
funny way to describe it. She walked out on the team,
Hey, look what she said. Then, now, and forever. She didn't mean it, because, man, as soon as Vince came back, she didn't bother fighting. I'm just gonna give up this.
That's the face of the women's revolution.
Yeah, she gave up. She got KO'd in the first round. Just went home. I mean, let's see how long.
Oh,
I want to add some insight. So, frankly, in terms of what she was doing on a technical level as her job, because I asked around about this, and the blunt, honest answer is she was there to be the face and spokesperson for media appearances, right? And she was, and also because, as a co-CEO, they wanted a McMahon, a named McMahon on the CEO level next to Nick Khan.
Yeah, we said that on Tuesday.
But besides that, she was, frankly, on an internal level, she was there for vibes. I was told that she just made the locker room happy. They just happened to really like her. So she would basically kind of be like, hey, I think they don't need to do 5 houses a week. Maybe they should do 4. And then, they'll change it to 4. They'll send the internal memo in the email. They'll tell the roster, this was Stephanie's decision. Everybody goes, yay, Stephanie. And then that's that. Literally. What else was there?
I like it,
Yeah, she told her.
It's fine.
Yeah, she ushered in, another new initiative. Hey guys, day off. Like, oh, that's awesome! And so
Oh, that was
she
a Stephanie choice.
yeah. She basically was the face of workers' rights within the company when she came back, and she basically was the one credited for raising even beyond. Like with Hunter, they see him as okay. This is if nothing else, creative stability in the sense that I don't have to wait till 7:55 Monday to know what I'm doing on Raw, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what he represented for some people, and for certain people, it's like, oh, I get to do more on the show, right? With Stephanie, it's more like, okay, this job just generally sucks less because it just sucks less. I also found out that before Raw used to get finished right before it went live, right? Now there's a hard and fast rule that they have to finish Raw Thursday night in terms of putting the show together. And so what would happen now is before Monty, the entire Raw roster would travel to TV, whether they're being used or not, because they don't know if they're going to get used.
So expensive as well.
So check this out. The entire Raw roster, even if you're like the fucking bottom of the barrel jobber, you had to travel to TV, right? And what happens? The guys who don't get used, and they hang out in catering, right? And so one of the other Stephanie initiatives was, hey, instead of forcing all these people to fly to TV to do nothing, if you're not on the show, since we know they're not going to be on the show, we know Thursday, why don't we inform those people and then they just stay home? And so that's the thing. She earned a lot of internal goodwill with the talent because to them it's like, oh, she's the fun lady that like gives us new perks, which is why frankly, even more so than like just the uncertainty and fear about Vince being back involved, a lot of the talent internally were going fucking nuts when Stephanie resigned. And most of them were just spamming Sean Ross Sapp's messages because it was one of those things of like, oh my God, like what's happening? Like, oh, are we fucked? Like, and then none of them can tweet about it publicly because they're all fucking afraid of what's happening. No one knows what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? We're seeing how this news cycle is going on a day-to-day basis. We thought WWE got sold to Saudi and then it didn't, but like we don't know what's happening. So I'd imagine with the talent and how they're being kept in the dark, it's like, why tweet anything? Because for all we know, tomorrow Vince says, hey, I'm like running everything again, and like half of you are fired. So
yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
It's a fucking mess.
I guess we'll just have to see what happens,
Yeah.
Do they get sold to the Saudis? Do they not? Does Vince get sued successfully? Do the cons buy it, bro? I think that story is so much air, bro. Like we were talking about before we went live as well. It's just, they would definitely need like some sort of help. I doubt the cons have got like 7 billion, like just lying around. Just to buy the WWE. I think Parker looked it up before we went live. The net worth is around 11 billion. Which is like everything attached to them and what they own comes to 11 billion. Like I said, I doubt they've got 7 billion. Of course, they could bring in a partner.
It's 11.5.
Yeah, I'm sure. Obviously, they could get a partner to come in and do it, but it's just like Then obviously, there's the whole obstacle: is Vince going to sell to the Khans? Like, no, he's not, bro. Like, like you said, he's the Saudis. Obviously. A lot of people expect it to be them, regardless of the news of the sale being done, getting debunked. A lot of people are still expecting it to be the Saudis, especially if Vince is leading the sale, because Vince. It's just,
Well, to be fair,
it really is that simple.
Well, to be fair, we don't know what kind of energy Vince is on. So
what kind of energy is on?
The same for the past 50 years.
I need to check the Vince vibe real quick. Vince vibe check real quick, just to get a sense.
Bro, do you guys know what he said backstage when he walked past into Gorilla when he did that TV appearance after the allegations came out?
Yeah, fuck him.
He said he just screamed, "Fuck him!" When he went backstage.
That's crazy, bro. Literal rape allegations against this man's name. And he's out here electing himself to be fucking chairman of the board. He's insane. Other little tidbit of news: WWE have hired the Reign Group to lead the WWE sale. Obviously, there was news earlier in the week or last week about WWE hiring JP Morgan to help out with the sale. They're still involved with helping out with the sale, but Reign Group, who have just been announced, they will be leading the sale. Again, not really my strong suit. I don't really know what that means really, but you know, it's obviously quite a big story, so throw it in there. But yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with WWE. Up the top, corporate, the board, all that sort of stuff. It's a mess at the minute from our point of view, you know, and I'm sure that's how it looks internally as well. So I don't know. The stock price keeps going up though. That's what I keep seeing.
You know what I just remembered? I remember this happened on a podcast a while back. I remember you asked us what our predictions were for like 2022 or something like that, and for some reason somebody said that they were going to sell, and who would have thought it was going to be in mid-20? What the hell was that? Did you guys hear that?
Your house.
That wasn't my house.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. Bro.
It's Ebu at the microwave.
Wait, what's happening? I'm not around anything. Do you have some background noise? What's going on?
No, we're good, man.
No, never mind. Just go. No, I was gonna say like we predicted that the sale might happen late last year, but it's happening this year after all. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, not even 2 weeks into the year, and there's already.
What's the funniest outcome of this from a sales standpoint?
He sells it to Tony Khan.
Yeah, that's like the funniest, you know. That's just never happening, you know. So
and Triple H has to work for Tony Khan.
Oh my god,
he has to. He's written. It's like
he's written
contract,
here, you know.
He's like,
welcome everybody to AEW Dynamite.
He's indentured.
Let's let me flow through some super chats because they are build, you know. We do appreciate them.
Imagine.
I also favorite. Go on, man. Go on.
Imagine Tony Khan doing the. Imagine Tony Khan doing the finger point to Triple H.
What finger point? Oh, the point, like the picture point that he does. Oh my god.
I'm still dying. Triple H has to work for it. Like, he can't.
He has no choice.
Say no.
Yeah, like Stephanie literally walked out yesterday or whatever.
That's literally what Vince did with WCW. He was like, "I'm going to take you guys, and you're just going to job on TV with my guys, you know, for like a year, just because I'm Vince." So.
No, you know, he couldn't do that with WCW because they all wanted to stay at home.
The top guys, yeah. Like,
that's what I mean, bro. It's
like, I'm not going on fucking TV.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay home and collect this $3 million for nothing. You know,
I just need Tony Khan to convince Vince to let him buy the rights to WCW or ECW. We can imagine Rampage gets turned into Nitro.
That could be that, bro. Imagine WWE sell to like the Saudis or something, like somewhere that won't really give a shit about like WCW library and rights and stuff. Yeah. And like Tony just weasels his way in, you know. And we get Nitro back, Nitro back on TNT. Huh?
You know that the Saudi government, like they're so not tapped in with wrestling that. When they bought WWE in 2018, one of the people that they asked for their show was Yokozuna and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, and they sent out that huge sumo wrestler, bro. I remember that.
They're fucking dead. Yeah. Meanwhile, Tony Khan is such a super fan and a nerd that he would use every single like WCW IP possible. That man, you get TV specials like welcome everybody to AEW Road Wild, AEW Halloween Havoc. AEW fucking Great American Bash.
Bro, he would just bring back Nitro. We'd get Crowbar on national television again.
Oh,
you know?
He would totally every resource he has to recreate the old Nitro set.
And you can't forget that he would also try to buy ECW.
Oh my god.
Imagine he brings back Hardcore TV too.
He is God, what a guy, you know. Tony Khan, the fan that happened to be a billionaire, you know.
Hey man, his recent TV's been on fire, you know.
Yeah, man. So super chats. I did service from Jamie as well. Again, 5222. Appreciate the $100 super chat. We
absolutely
appreciate what you do. Jamie Ross, he has filed a lawsuit upon hearing about Hanger's return to the board. I hope that you've got your lawyers ready to battle with this, Ibu. So,
what's up?
I'm backing him up.
Jamie's filing a lawsuit against you.
Listen, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the SEC. I'm taking WrestlePurists private, frankly. So you guys don't have to worry about that.
Already private, you know.
I want to also let everybody know. Make sure to stay tuned for the whole podcast because I am ending the show with an announcement, and in the middle of the show, I will give an update on the WrestlePurists board of directors. So stay tuned for those two things.
Not been clear at all. Anyway, super chats. Showtime Spurs $5. This was sent before we even went live. Really appreciate it. Of course, here to see how grumpy mentality is after Dynamite, after no Mercedes and TK's Fulham beating Chelsea for the first time in like 20 years. Chelsea, my football/soccer team, they are absolutely finished, bro. Very unfortunate circumstances leading to our downfall, such as the war in Ukraine, which is as wild as it sounds, actually had an effect on the job. Oh man,
it sounds like an excuse.
Fuck Putin is basically where I'm at with that. Chelsea are finished though. Dynamite was good, man. No Mercedes. I wasn't expecting her. Obviously, I know you watch most of our podcasts. I don't think I've ever once been totally convinced she was coming in at that moment.
Yeah, I thought you were delusional, frankly. I thought you were just
everyone called me crazy. Then people called Dave crazy as well,
Yeah, I did too. I doubted him. I thought
he was right.
I thought he was
100%.
I didn't like predict it. I was just like, I was just kind of like, I'm not convinced she's coming in, It wasn't really anything solid for me.
Thing about it, Monty? So just to set the stage for everybody, a week ago, their mother expected Sasha Banks on Dynamite, Mercedes Mone, because she just showed up at Wrestle Kingdom. AEW set the stage with the mystery partner and, booking it a month out. Britt Baker, she said she did the boss hint where she said boss and winked at the camera. Will Washington of Grapsody was doing a percentage game where he was ranking the percentage of the likelihood of her appearing, and he peaked at 100. and he was backed up by Sean Ross Sapp, who did shows with Will, live, and he's just kind of going like, hey, I haven't heard anything to the contrary what Will's hearing. Nobody's denying it to me. And furthermore, not just putting it all on the reporters, Tony Khan himself was doing various interviews. And the thing about Tony Khan is when something is not happening, he usually vehemently denies it or, whatever. With Sasha, anytime he was asked about it, he played very coy. He just kind of like, hey, anything could happen. And, he just kind of weaved around the question, right? And so all these things led the majority of the fan base to believe that it was a possibility. And in the middle of all of this, at the height of all of this, Dave Meltzer's like, yeah, it's just not happening. It's like, wait, what?
Bro, it's
just not happening. She's not coming. It's like,
it was
what are you talking about, Dave?
It was like, yeah, like you said, like last Thursday, Sasha's just came out Wrestle Kingdom. Britt's just done the boss line. He just kind of like, obviously the stage was set with the tag match. Will done his. Bill was kind of like you said, he was throwing around like percentages, and he was just kind of tweeting about it. And he said he was at 100% what he thinks will happen. But like amongst all of this, like all the people who were convinced it was going to happen were never like, everything was like, well, nobody's denying it to me. Do you know what I mean? Like there wasn't really anything. Then the whole thing, I think I was saying in one of our group chats earlier, it's like Sean Ross Sapp never actually really done a report on it or anything. You know what I mean? Sean Ross Sapp never actually done a report on it, which I thought was a flag. Then like the confidence Dave had last week when he was just like, yeah, it's not happening. I was like, oh, fuck. Like, Dave was saying he spoke to people in WWE, he spoke to people close to the situation, he spoke to somebody in the match. And we was like, Dave's getting worked. So that's what everyone was doing. And he was like, nah, bro, like, I know Dave, he's getting old and, he's not as, he might not be as sharp, but he's never like, even when he is like off on something, it's usually something that he's speculating about and he's not actually reporting about. Like with this, he came in with hella confidence, bro. Like he was just like, yeah, it's not happening. No one in WWE thinks it has a chance of happening. It's not happening. Like I've spoken to multiple people, it's not happening. And like I said, everyone was doing the whole, oh, he's getting worked. Like, nah, bro. Like
he wasn't think. It wasn't.
He wasn't.
That man straight up said, he told me she will not wrestle for AEW. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, it was so emphatic, so just out with his chest. I was like, man, someone's gonna look really bad in a week. And I assumed it was Dave. I was like, everybody's saying it's Mercedes, and everyone's going in that direction. And the one guy to stand in the middle of that and is like, it's just not fucking happening. Even Brian was like, wait, what?
Yeah, literally, bro. I remember even Brian was kind of like, he didn't straight up disagree with that or anything, but he was just like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean, bro?
and so for all the dust to settle, right? He's the one who was right.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to issue my public apology to Mr. David Meltzer. You are still the goat of wrestling journalism. You are still him, as the kids say. Yeah, I bow to you, sir. And yeah, it's just crazy. Like, I'm still Monty. I still can't believe she didn't show up. Like, I honestly,
what?
when I just could, it just felt like it was happening.
Well,
Sasha has to be
I mean,
the
like,
biggest
I think it's
enigma in
obviously we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to like the Dynamite review part of the show.
Right.
It's like, you know,
Right.
the expectation, like you said when you mentioned Tony Khan on multiple interviews and stuff, like he never vehemently like didn't like denied it or anything, and I don't know, man. I just don't think AEW's expectation management was very good here. You know, it's like I was saying it last night. It's like even their way of doing like damage control, if they knew she wasn't coming in last week, it's like they straight up told us Tony Storm was the partner, but within that angle, they set the seeds for a big angle. So it was like people were like, oh wow, Sheeta, you see the look on her face. She's obviously she's gonna call Sasha, and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that, and it's like, bro, they just like I said, they planted the seeds for a big angle in a segment where they were trying to clear the air, I think, and I think that kind of that even just that little bit wasn't.
That's the other thing. We all have wrestling fan brain, right? So when she announced Tony, we still were like, it's not happening.
Because it doesn't make sense to announce a mystery partner and then a week before be like, and it's someone who is on TV every week.
Yeah, and the thing is, they did that, and like they made sure to demonstratively show Sheeta, like, I don't approve of this choice you just made. Really slighted and angry. So, you know, as wrestling fans, we're like, oh, he's gonna beat her up. And the spot is open. And then furthermore, Baker gave Paige 2 tickets to the forum. It was like literally a blatant thing on the TV, like one of the shows where she was like, hey, you know, use these or whatever the fuck you want to do. So, you know, wrestling fans, AEW normally pays attention to detail, you know, and they're the company that, you know, pays off the hints and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think it's totally fair for everybody to think like, oh man, like, Sasha and Naomi. Bro,
AEW is definitely like a company where like fans are normally rewarded for looking at these little details. Do you know?
Yeah,
for sure.
WWE for years actively discouraged people paying attention to stuff like that. But with AEW, I mean, we've seen time and time again, guys, right? There'd be these kind of, you know, borderline bad faith, you know, people who would just be like, what's going on here? This story doesn't make any sense. What's going on? And then people like, what? And then, you know, the nerds, you know, would conversely be like, no, what do you mean? Like backstage on Rampage, there was like this thing on the screen and it means this. And they'd end up being right. You know, they'd end up being right most of the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think what happened was I think they thought her and Naomi were coming in and just didn't end up happening.
Well, you know, there's the rumors flying around that apparently Sasha put the price up on Tony and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is that circulating.
Yeah,
so,
there was that.
But they don't want you to know.
Yeah, it was that thing on the observer board where she put the price up.
Sorry, that got me.
They
I wasn't expecting it. They with 3 parentheses. They don't want you to know about this. Okay.
But I know.
Never mind. But I'm the bad guy for bringing it up.
Yeah, of course. Never mind. Custodian, Brian Pillman Jr., aka Rizgard. Appreciate you, 9.99. Hey friends, show was Dynamite. Was amazing yesterday. I lost my voice. Back up, welcome back, King. And man, Tony, get us after the women's tag match. Tony got us after the women's tag match. Lights turned off, and it was a Rampage promo. No money. Bro, did you guys see that? I did tweet on the WrestlePurists account.
Mhm.
It's like after the women's tag match, like the lights went off, like about to go into an ad break or do Rampage promos or whatever the fuck, and all the lights went off and the crowd like all shit themselves, you know. and like the Titantron came back on, it was just like a Rampage match graphic, and the whole arena goes,
Monty,
oh.
I wish you could see my body language. The whole match, and Parker, you saw me and Murph just being fucking maniacs, right?
Oh,
like
bro.
the
It
whole
was
match.
embarrassing.
This was like, this was too much.
Yeah. For anyone that obviously doesn't know, because they're not in our group chats, it's like Murph and Ibu, the whole of this women's tag match were literally like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. I feel sick,
shaking,
bro. My stomach feels all weird. Oh my god, bro, what if it happens? And it's just like, bro, this is shameless shit right now.
The funniest thing is I'm saying all these like I'm shaking, I'm bloated, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm breathing hard.
I'm shitting, I'm throwing up.
This nigga Chris is like, bro, have your period somewhere else. God. And the thing is, I was doing that because here's the thing, guys. I don't watch a lot of wrestling live. You know, I don't watch a lot of wrestling live because of my work schedule, and so I get spoiled on big happenings like 50% of the time, or I have an idea it happened, right? And so watching live, I'm not good with surprises. I'm an anxious human being, so I'm fully expecting Sasha. I just want to fucking get it out the way, right? The match ends. I watched about 40% of it, and I'm like, all right, it's happening. And then you go right into like fucking doing the graphics and shit, and I'm like, no fucking way. Like, I was in such denial. I was like, okay, after the graphic, she's gonna show up. Like after
after this Rampage plug real quick, you know what I mean? Mercedes Moné.
Who remembers Ciampa's heel turn on Gargano? Because with that one, they were on the stage celebrating. And then they did that kind of like graphic on the corner screen.
The graphic in the trademark shit.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, the show's over. And then he turned. He was like, oh shit. So I'm thinking like, okay, like what if AEW is working me? Like what if they're going to show her after the graphic? And no, they just
that was very much a Triple H thing, but he done it a few times. To be fair.
Yeah.
That's the big, that was the big, that was the big one though, the Gargano Ciampa one. But more super chats. WrestlePurists for Victor Romano, $2. WrestlePurists to Jeddah. Here we go. I will not be going to Jeddah. I will not be partaking in that for plane journey.
WrestlePurists crown jewel, man. Yeah.
Jenny Omega, $4.99. Welcome back up and happy late birthday to @Hanky Fashion. Please
absolutely.
don't support that page. We are against it over
It's
here.
really bad. It's a bad
Really
page.
bad stuff. I thought better of Jenny, you know. But it is what it is.
Awesome, man. Jenny,
I did think that until about 5 seconds ago, you know. Shouting out Hangy Fashion. That's a crime, bro.
Did you know that you can unbutton a shirt and throw a chain on?
I heard that's the peak of fashion. I have a PSA to dripless niggas worldwide.
Oh, bro, stop it.
If you're struggling with swag and drip and women, here's a word of advice: go down a couple buttons.
Fuck.
Tilt your head.
Don't listen to this 5'8" fucking
this 40-year-old man.
This 5'8" 40-year-old man.
Listen. I am 5'11" without shoes. Thank you very much. And I am not 40. I'm 37. And I just want to say that no, don't run with that. But no, listen, guys, look. Honestly, tilt your head at an angle, about 60 degrees, roughly, right? Take it. This is advice that will get you put on a list.
He's cooking, bro.
Put a chain on, you know what I'm saying? And we're good. We're getting somewhere with this.
Scaring the hose, bro.
Oh my god, we're back to tomatoes?
But you was getting tomatoes when you was doing like your genuine like, hey guys, I'm back.
Really? Like my baby face promo to start the thing.
Yeah, bro. It's just
fucking tomatoes. Fuck up, man.
But yeah, man. Super chats. Darren Walker, £5. At long last, back up, Hangman. He's finally back. He's been very much missed. Backup talks common sense to only missing Anna the goat now. Yeah, we do miss Anna, but she's very busy. And hopefully in February she'll make at least one appearance. As that is in the works right now. But you know, she's busy and she has a life unlike myself. You know, so Pylon's $5. Appreciate you. How would you book babyface Adam Cole? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Anyone got any bright ideas?
No.
Who the fuck? I don't know.
Everyone's like, oh,
I don't do fantasy booking.
I kind of struggle with it. There's sometimes I'll have a bright idea, like sometimes something will hit me, you know. But like, I'm not good at like, you know, I'm no Adam. What's his name? Adam Blampoid or whatever his name is from whatever channel.
You basically are him, you know, Monty. If we get into your behind the scenes practice,
I mean, well, I mean, let's slow down a bit there, fella. Anyway.
Wait. I want to answer the question.
Okay.
I have concrete ideas for Adam Cole, but what I will say is,
before you start, Ibu, you keep doing this thing where you keep putting your hand over the microphone halfway through a sentence and you go really quiet.
I'm not touching it. Is it really doing that?
Yeah.
Is it doing it now?
No.
Next time it happens, let me know. Like
it just happened.
It happened right there.
Hey, what? Hold on. Let me switch AirPods. That's crazy.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. We got a whole. While you're waiting,
take the $50. Hold on a second. Real quick, Lamora will let me do this. Take the $50 that you owe me.
Yeah.
And buy an actual microphone.
Okay.
And be on camera next time.
And on time.
Understood?
I'll think about it. Oh, wait, here's the deal.
Lamora said, "Welcome back, Anger by the way, $5. Appreciate you." Before you get
thank you so much.
This question here. Okay, go.
So here's the deal, man. Thank you for the super chat. I've heard people make rumors about teaming up with the Kingdom, Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, and no disrespect to any of those two individuals, but I just feel like Adam Cole coming back, he felt like a really hot act again, right? He felt really hot again, and very
great
much
promo as well.
Great promo, swagger, main event aura. I don't know if I want to attach anything that. How does that do that right now? You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of doing his thing. He had a great promo. Let that kind of exist without, attaching people to him that he has to now essentially, whatever you want to say, elevate or whatever. It's just not worth having bodies for trios matches. It's like, let him just kind of. I would honestly let the story just write itself, if that makes any sense, because I feel like sometimes with wrestling, right, you do something on a given week and the way the crowd reacts organically to it, it tells you where you need to go. First, easiest example, Darby Allin versus Samoa Joe was so great, it told Tony Khan that this is the direction I need to go in, you know what I mean, which is Darby, build to a Darby rematch where he gets the title back, right? That wasn't planned. It's just how it happened, right? So what I would say is, I'd kind of pick Adam Cole's brain on who he wants to work with next. Maybe kind of put him in something related to the Elite, and just kind of let that tell itself. So that's kind of my answer.
How's he going to feud with the Elite if he doesn't have a team?
He doesn't have to. Listen, man. You're not going to get this fucking. Fuck off, all right? Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. We're not gonna make this a thing, man. We're not.
Hey, man, this just sounds like a man that hasn't seen any of their dark matches, like I have been doing the study tape.
Oh my god!
They're a nice little tag team, man.
They're not.
There's nothing like bad about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
did you see Mike Bennett hoop on Friday against Darby Allin?
Mike Bennett's a good wrestler. I give him
enough. Mike Bennett. I got super chats to get through. All right. Karl Marx 499. Appreciate you. Hollywood backup, a true proletarian, a man of the people on behalf of the Communist Party. Welcome back, comrade. Communist Manifesto remix coming out soon. He's talking to you, backup, man.
Pylons. Adam Cole doesn't want anything to do with Roosh. Roosh said, "I'm right back home."
RJ Epic One, $6.99 Canadian. Appreciate your backup, Hangman. Heard the WrestlePurists fans chanting his name for 7 years. Great to have you be back in the world of podcasting. I mean, to you, maybe, you know.
Fuck off. Listen, thank you so much for the super chat donation. I'm very happy to be back. Like I said, man, 2023, we're gonna take it up a notch. You know, Hangman Adam Pearce is dead. He's dead. He's buried. He's gone.
The childish
He is-
gimmick, you know.
He's
the Rocky Malvia of the Dwayne Johnson, you know.
I wouldn't say that. I think Hollywood Hangman Adam Pearce.
I wouldn't say that. Actually, it's really good now that I think about it.
No, I'll say this. Listen, Hollywood Hangman Adam Pearce is better at Twitter than Rocky Maivia was at wrestling. But with that said, Marcus, I don't think about it. With that said, he is a relic of the past, and we're gonna do some big boy shit.
He's done. Year. He's done. He had to leave town. He lost the AO, and he had to leave town.
Oh, see, that's not flying though. That didn't happen.
That's what happened, bro. Like,
but but Uncle Hangy is here. You know.
No.
And,
bro.
Uncle
Nobody calls you that, you know.
He's doing Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Bree Woo, $4.99. Would it be possible that the Khan's throwing some ownership stake of the Jags to Vince and give him what he always wanted to sweeten the deal, bro?
It's not happening.
Don't waste your, I'm sure, very great brain cells and energy thinking about this. Like, it's not happening, bro. Like, you make jokes about it and shit, you know, like make your jokes and stuff, but like, because that's always fun. But like, don't actually sit there like thinking like, how does this deal come together, like, bro? It's not. It's never. That's how it comes together. Appreciate it as always. Appreciate all these super chats. Andrew the Giant, £5. Great to see Ibu back. See you. Quotation mark. Loved your thread on Saudi bars and Islamophobia. Definitely felt there was a lot of performative takes on Tuesday. Yeah, there definitely was, bro. Like, I know Saudi Arabia is like bad, whatever, you know. Not the most, you know, they don't run the country the way that we're used to, you know, to say the least. But a lot of people were like just kind of going like crazy on the timeline. We saw some of the jokes and comments they were making just about the whole Saudi
Mustafa
thing.
Ali's gonna be the fucking world champion.
Yeah, like,
bro, dude's posting 9/11 memes and shit like that. It's just like, here's my thing: the culture of wrestling Twitter, right, and just Twitter in general is, you know, I'm sure that there's an addictive quality to just posting and saying the snappiest, quirkiest, most, you know, whatever, not insightful, but just wittiest thing that's going to get a bunch of likes and stuff, right? And, you know, a lot of people are addicted to the engagement. And in a big story like this, it's like, oh my God, I got to rush to just get my joke off, right? And so for a lot of people, the easiest way to do that is like, oh, let me fucking say some shit about fucking Twin Towers and fucking hanging and whatever the fuck, right? But I just think people need to realize sometimes to just take a step back and realize like how insane they're being, you know, when they say certain things. And like, he just literally takes a step. Bro, Monty, my brother's not in wrestling Twitter, right? But he just like looked at it from a distance. He's like, yo, what the fuck is going on your side of Twitter? And like, he's like, he's sending me like fucking like crazy shit, right? And furthermore than that, I do also want to say that from the performative standpoint, you know, I totally believe that there are people that absolutely care about human rights and care about, you know, just like the well-being of people who are under the thumb of oppressive regimes and things like that, right? But it does look bad, especially to like, you know, somebody who is, you know, Arab American or someone who's like a Muslim or a Middle Eastern, right? Imagine their perspective, right? When they see, you know, people who are like flat out white, right? Who only tweet about Saudi Arabia and things like this when it's time to talk about them in relation to WWE, right? It does, no, regardless of what you say and how you feel about it, it does look a certain way, you know? And it does come off performative, and it does come off like just a fan who wants to dunk on another wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So these are just things to be mindful of. And I say this while also not trying to shame anybody who is morally opposed to the Saudi Arabian government. But I do think people sometimes do go over the top with the jokes that they make. But yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying, so yeah, Saudi Arabia is like definitely not agreeing with them and saying we're not even like defending them. It's just kind of like
No.
a lot of people were definitely borderlining on like Islamophobia, racism, and stuff like that. Like, and in their minds, I think they were just trying to like get smart WWE bad jokes off, you know. But yeah, man. So you know, be mindful of what you say, man, because you know, it did get a bit weird on Tuesday, definitely. Okay, enough of that preachy shit, you know. Alpha Kunua 499 as 51 as 51% owner of WrestlePurists and majority voting shareholder. I'm selling WrestlePurists to my good friend WWE Gareth. Well, I don't know if you've got the authority to do that. You do claim to have 51%, but you know, good luck with that, you know. Math 499, appreciate that. Motherfucker took a month off, rebranded as his own face, said it's a new era for him, and he still does not have a webcam. I know, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he's not serious, bro. Like, he's just not serious. He's what it is. Like, if you guys want to fuck with him still, that's up to you. But you know, I can't give my real opinions on screen. You know,
Monty is an oppressive owner. He is a piece of shit, and he's very unencouraging. And he tried everything he could to suppress me and hold me from returning to the board. But you know, again, I'm a majority shareholder, so you can't do shit about it. You know?
Something. Far 5222 $10. Wade Keller was alluding earlier that possibly Mercedes after stuff out of TK's range and painted her as a CM Punk with how those at WWE feel about her. Yeah, I did see that report. So,
do you want me to drop a scoop, Monty? Is it Mercedes scoop time? Because I have some insight on this.
No, go ahead. Obviously, it must be relevant if you've just thought of it now.
So here's what I can add to this, and I think some of it's unfortunate. Maybe you could say some of it's founded, but I think some of it's just a bit unfortunate. There seems to be an industry-wide, I guess, I don't know what the word would be, belief, view of Mercedes as a certain way. Because here's the deal, right? I'll tell you guys this. When she came back to WWE in 2019, right, she got a significant pay increase. Significant, right? Like, we're talking double what she was making prior. And among this was various new perks like a private, you know, plane and a private bus. And, you know, more power to her. I think she's one of the greatest American women's wrestlers of all time, if not the greatest, right? I think she's tremendous, right? I think as a talent, she's somebody that WWE, even though, as you know, for all the great things that she did in WWE, I think she could have done even more.
She's great, bro. Get to the point.
The point is this. The point I'm making is this. There was a prevailing jealousy of her, I think, from a lot of people. And I think many people just felt that she was spoiled. And the fact that she walked out on the company when she kind of had that setup and situation for her, I also want to mention that she had her schedule had less dates than like the average wrestler. And it included various breaks that she was allowed to, you know, exercise and take whenever she wanted to. I think it was like 2 a year, right? So because that was her setup, some people just kind of thought that she was spoiled, and I think it's rooted in jealousy. And the point I'm making is this: that was WWE's view and the people within the company, right? And I would absolutely imagine that spreads across to other places, and I wouldn't be shocked if they kind of put that out in other places, right? You now couple this with her, a woman, basically telling WWE and telling AEW, frankly, like, hey, you want my services, you have to fucking pay me. You know, pay me on a high level. You know what I mean? You know, Dave Meltzer wouldn't commit to an exact number, but he said it was comparable to the Horsewomen, right? And the Horsewomen, specifically Charlotte and Becky, they're the highest paid people in the company, not named Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. So, you know, we're talking around $4 million, right? And Voices of Wrestling said it was beyond that. Now, if she's throwing that number at Tony, she'd be absolutely the highest paid person in the company. And to me, I still go for it. I still do it. I still do the deal. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people are just kind of like, I don't know about her. Maybe she is nuts the way they say, you know. And none of us know. We don't know Sasha. We don't fucking know. Maybe she is a fucking. Maybe she is a nut job. You But
Obviously, with it being PW Torch, I will give kind of like a some content to what we're talking about. So like the way Keller report was basically he said that. Let me just get through this real quick, man. I'll just read the report so the people listening know what the hell we're talking about. I know it's not popular with people who really like her, but I'm just reporting what I'm told. I'm not saying she's at CM Punk level of unpopular with fellow wrestlers and management in WWE, but she has her critics. And the details I've been given indicate that she's earned it. And if Tony Khan did his due diligence and had a deal with her in negotiations, if it got to that far, I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm just not, but it fell through. And I know people who are fans of her want her to be in AEW and show Vince McMahon up, but you're getting a lot. There's a lot that comes along with negotiating and working with some of the people whose opinions I respect the most and who I talk to from WWE are not sad that she's gone and don't think she should be brought back. They don't buy the spin that this was standing up for their rights against misogynism and sexism, and there's women in the company who tell me this too, by the way. But I know people who really like her don't like hearing that. And again, I'm neutral on that. I don't care either way. I just want to convey what I hear and what I think is fair and trusted commentary on her. And so I'm not shocked that Tony Khan didn't bend over backwards to make sure that it happened, as in her appearing on Dynamite. And I'm not surprised Paul Levesque didn't either.
That's a lot. Wow.
Yeah, the only thing I was gonna point out before you read the thing was the thing I found interesting was how he said that Tony Khan didn't want to bend over backwards. Like, it just shows he was willing to do that for CM, like for Punk. Just wasn't going to do it for something.
Yeah, it's not like CM Punk was got this squeaky clean, squeaky clean reputation either.
Many of Monty have a theory. I feel like in the past there was very little vetting and due diligence and background. Parker's like he's like waiting to be told this knowledge. I feel like in the past Tony would just sign. I feel like Tony in the past would just be like, he's good. Let's bring him, right? And I think because of a lot of the internal turmoil caused by certain guys late last year, and that coupled with the pundits that he really respects, like Dave Meltzer saying like, hey, you do need to vet people. You do need to consider like the personalities you're bringing in. You do need to do this and that. Like they've had that rant because of Miro's latest kind of outburst. I would not be surprised if Tony is like hyper cautious of this now to the point where it's affecting him maybe signing a big person. Like I would not be surprised maybe if he was just kind of like, she's asking for a lot and a lot of people are talking shit about her. I don't know. And to that I say this, maybe it's just naive and reckless on my part, but I just feel like even if you are kind of a nutcase as a talent, right? I feel like there's a way to harness that if you're a great boss and a great promoter.
Yeah, if you're a great promoter.
Yeah, you should be able to make it work. Like there's no reason why you I don't know. I will say, the idea, the report, like obviously I have no inside knowledge. I have no anything like that. Right. The report sounds plausible to me. Mm-hmm. I also think one thing that I haven't seen talked about much, but I think applies to a lot of these situations, is wrestling is such like an inherently cooperative like thing to do. Like you literally have to work together to put on a match and do a dueling promo and everything like that. And the idea is that you're getting each other over to make a better product and draw ratings and ticket sales and all that type of stuff. And so when somebody comes in and like demands money, or we have the contract situation that like MJF had earlier in the year and stuff like that, where it's like where people are like, it's clearly purely self-interested to get as much money as possible, that people probably resent that, right? However, I do have to say that like I think superstars should negotiate and bargain for all the money they can possibly get. Like,
absolutely.
WWE and AEW wrestlers are like hilariously underpaid considering the revenue they bring. Yes. But at the same time, I do think that it's like, well, if you're thinking, well, shit, like why can't she just be paid $2 million? Like, why is $2 million not enough for her to come in and improve this company that I'm a part of and do a program with me? Yeah. So I can see like every angle to it. But again, at the end of the day, I think talent, bargain for all the money you're worth, and because it's going to be worth it more often than not. Yes. And you should probably unionize too, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Parker, thank you for saying this, making this point. I don't know if I don't think I've gotten to make this point because I was gone, but like Parker's dead on, dude. Guys, when you look at the profits that wrestling promotions bring in versus what they're paying like the talent proportionally, they're getting fucked. Even Roman Reigns was making the most out of any of the quote unquote, near or specifically full-time guys, he's getting fucked. You know?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
because they don't have a union. It's because they don't have a union, and these guys are just they're just not, I guess, literate to this situation, or they just don't want to rock the boat. But if Mercedes is the one person to just look at the situation and be like,
it takes a union, and
of course. Well,
it's,
I'm not putting the
big
blame on
names. The
anyone.
big nains that are getting looked after aren't,
Yeah,
you know,
like Roman's
Roman
not
Reigns.
in
Yeah,
shit
Roman
unionized.
Reigns isn't
No.
rushing to start a union. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah,
that's my point. Like,
I was just gonna say, pro wrestling and UFC are in the same boat where the top guys are getting taken care of, and they don't want to.
Well,
They
yeah,
don't care about
exactly.
the other guys.
Like Roman can take time off anytime he wants, and Drew McIntyre can take time off anytime he wants, and so like they have nothing to gain for being union for at least, or you know, at least in the sense of like by rocking the boat, you run the risk of being demoted or being taken out because frankly, wrestling promoters are like really fickle and like vindictive people for the most part, and they will bury you, and they have the option to like essentially demote you in front of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people.
Parker,
so,
even Tony Khan, who was like, you know, considered like the lesser evil, if not just the good guy promoter in wrestling, we've seen even with him, right? Like whether you look at you know, a Miro or an Andrade or certain other guys, even in AEW, there's cases of people who, you know, they express some type of internal disagreement or frustration with the process of being in the company, and it has affected their on-screen roles in the company, you know. And you know, you can say like, oh, Tony's justified in doing that as a promoter, but that is how the business is. You know, you rock the boat in any way, and it is going to probably affect you. You know, which is why
which is like insane, by the way. like a good boss, like a good manager of talent would hear criticism and be like, okay, how can I fix this? How can I rectify this? And not I need to punish this person for not thinking everything is perfect.
I just think it's weird that how that's like a common thing in like the entertainment world or in the UFC pro wrestling world. It's just kind of weird that's how it works.
Hey man, it works that way because it allows the promoter to bank more profit, and as long as the talent don't say anything or do anything about it, then it's going to stay that way.
There's no like board overseeing shit and stuff as well. So it's like WWE is ran solely by WWE. You know, UFC is ran solely by UFC. Like, yeah, they have to listen to commissions to get fights passed and stuff. But in terms of how the business and stuff is run, whereas like the NFL and stuff like that, they have to do you know, a fair split of revenue with the TV rights deals and stuff like that. There's regulations and stuff like that.
I want to toss out because I know, Parker, like the last maybe late in the year, you were very in and out of just the wrestling scene because of like your studies and stuff. I don't know if you saw the report that Dave basically said that like WWE let Sasha walk even though they renegotiated with her, like the Levesque regime, that they basically let her walk because she was just kind of like, I want this amount of money, and they were like, fuck no, right? And I want to say this. If it comes out, frankly, that and Sasha is not going to happen because, you know, Tony Khan just ended up not wanting to match her number, you know, that's going to be a story where a lot of people are going to want to pick a good guy and a bad guy. And frankly, I think that's a situation where there really isn't, because it's Sasha's right and prerogative to demand as much as she wants and stand firm on it and just not go if it's not met. And it is also Tony's right as a promoter to be like, you know what? No, I'm not going to give you $7 million. It's going to upset my salary structure. It's going to be complicated for me. I'm going to have to give a bunch of people raises, and it's just not worth it. So respectfully, I can't do that. You know, people are going to either go fuck Sasha or fuck Tony on that. And really, it's really fucking either if that is the situation, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it, but I mean, there was a guy on the Observer board yesterday that usually does have AEW scoops and usually gets them right, but he also did on the board tweet about Sasha, and he said, I think I heard last week or 2 weeks ago that she wasn't going to land in AEW, and then got a message tonight before Dynamite that she priced herself out and is expected to be back in the Fed. So it's like,
it's crazy.
So
man.
yeah, maybe
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
You know what?
Maybe not the Rumble, but SummerSlam. You know.
You know what I'll say? At least we get to see her in an outside setting. What she can do with, you know, the top names in Stardom and some of these other people. Like genuinely, I'll tell you what. Like Parker, one of the things that I've done in my absence is I've ingratiated myself even further into the Joshi scene in preparation for, you know, Mercedes Mone stepping in. And I think it's also cool that like she's naming people like Miyu Yamashita, who isn't a Stardom wrestler, and just saying she wants to wrestle. I honestly, and Monty has said this, I echo his sentiment that what I really want the most out of this Mercedes post WWE run is for her to get casual eyeballs onto the Joshi scene, because you know how I look at it right now? Because Stardom as a product, in my opinion, is actively just getting better and better, right? From like a couple years ago, right? And it's on the precipice of just one key thing that expands its attention in the West. It's very similar, in my opinion, to 2010's Bushiroad New Japan, in how the product experienced a resurgence in the early 2010s, right? And it had a couple straight years of just excellence as a product, right? And then, you know, whether it be AJ Styles or then later Kenny Omega, it got a bunch of Westerners to check this product out that was already fucking fantastic, right? And my hope is that Mercedes can get people who like her to consistently pay attention to a Stardom and a New Japan and an Ice Ribbon and a TJPW and whatever. You know, who is that ambitious? Is that you know, maybe pie in the sky perhaps? But if that can even happen to a degree, I think that's a big success.
Well, I think the Sasha Stan's already met at New Japan.
Yeah.
Why is that? Tell me about that, man.
Because they posted the New Japan account said that they're gonna have the Okada's gonna defend the belt at the Battle of the Valley, and now they're mad that Sasha's not the main event.
Oh boy.
Some people think she'll main event, but it's just like, you know, world title,
No,
New Japan.
Yeah, they're not main event.
Okada.
I can't lie, Monty. If it's like
tough,
Okada, if it's Okada versus like Lance Archer, that is kind of nasty.
It's kind of nasty anyway, but at the end of the day, it's just kind of how they do things, bro. Like the world title goes on last. They're very like old school in that sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I forgot who said it, but they think it's gonna be Eddie Kingston Okada. Who said that? You know?
Oh my god.
I think that's possible. I think that's possible.
I said that.
Oh, you said that?
Yo, Parker. Eddie's gonna eat a rainmaker, and then he's gonna get the mic, and he's gonna look at the sky, and he's gonna go, Hashimoto,
and it'll be beast. It'll be beast, bro.
I'm like rolling my eyes.
What do you want from it? Yeah, Parker's like, this is so silly.
Kensuke Sasaki.
He's just he gets progressively like more.
I'm sending pictures of me with tears in my eyes and shit. You know?
What are you in a way?
Shiro Koshinaka.
Shiro Koshinaka, that's funny.
Oh, bro, edit all of it, bro.
Yapper Man 2.
It's got good taste, you know.
Takayuki Iizuka.
Pylon's $5 said, since we don't have any bright ideas on Adam Cole, he'd have him going after LFI for the -1 angle. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That sounds like an Adam Cole versus Harold Peligroso match, which sounds rampage as fuck. And I don't know.
Rampage as fuck.
It sounds my thing right now is he was so hot this week, that I feel like whatever he needs to do has to feel like top tier level shit. Like, and nothing against the existing remaining LFI that exists in AEW right now, which is Roosh, Ten, and Jose.
And Dragolistico.
I don't know.
Of course. You know. Right. How could you forget that? You know?
Yeah, right.
I like that Manny calls him Draglistico. It's just
Draglistico. No, because I was gonna call him Dragon Elite at first, and then I remembered.
But like, that's how you type it out too. You say Draglistico.
He types out Draglistico.
He's trying to blend it, but you know, it's not the first time.
Hey, but look, man,
he's going to Pro Wrestling Noah.
I thought Prince of Van sucked, and then
that match.
I thought Prince of Van sucked, and then I saw him on Rampage taking that Luchador's mask off and flicking the crowd off. I said, "Oh no, I think we have something here." So
that's all he has to do.
It doesn't, yeah, bro. Manny's, you know, he doesn't take a lot to make you like him or hate him. You know, he don't take a lot.
Why is Preston Vance in this stable?
What? No, that's enough.
The dangerous dog.
Right, you know,
what do you say?
That's enough. You know, why is
No one
Preston
has-
Vance? Like, what is going on? What is going on here? You know, Miro
Well,
sat at home.
Okay, can I
You
be
know,
honest? Can I be
like-
honest?
You always have to have one
Well,
shitter in a group.
A couple weeks ago, I was watching Rampage, and then I turned up my volume because LFI was talking to I forgot the woman's name.
How
But
long? Sorry to cut you off. How long has this Preston Vance story arc actually been going on for on TV, bro? Because it's
about
fucking
three-
crazy.
Like a month.
3 months. It's
No,
like
it's
3
Before
months,
on,
man.
yeah, before on.
Man said a month, bro. What?
No. Actually, no. Yeah, it
It's
started on Andrade.
It was
like
the mask
September.
versus
bro.
mask
Yeah.
versus career match.
It
Yeah.
was
Bro,
September.
it's crazy.
Holy shit. Oh
It's
my
been,
god.
I'm gonna find the first
Why?
match that excuse me.
Why? What's the point?
Matches. Okay.
Yep. Tony will just like pick a shitter, and he's like, I really just want to do a lot of stuff with you for the next couple months. Like, I just really-
Dark Order.
The dangerous dog.
Dark Order.
So sometimes when I get bored, I look for that Roosh promo where he's getting mad at the ref for moving the extension cord,
Oh
and it
my
just
god.
pops me every time.
I at work, I asked my coworker Steven if Steven watches this, he'll laugh at this. I was like, Steven, papi, what does pero peligroso mean? And he was like, dangerous dog. Like, what the fuck?
That's what it means. It's like, ooh, ooh. But that is actually a pretty typical like Lucha Libre naming conventions are like warrior, like literally Black Warrior died this week. And,
When I heard that
yeah.
name, I was laughing hysterically.
Bro, he main evented the he main evented the CML anniversary show in a mask versus mask match against Mystico.
Black Warrior.
Okay, there's a
Black
promo
Warrior.
segment. There's a promo segment here where Andrade makes it clear he doesn't want to speak with the Dark Order. He wants to speak with Turn. This is from September 8th.
Oh my god!
That's over 4 months ago.
My favorite my favorite one
crazy,
is
bro.
my favorite mask I have is just like a luchador that's called the Patriot, and just have him like a Star Spangled Banner like mask, or like
Oh.
a guy that
was
a
the
guy
week, that was the
or the guy that
that
knows
was the week after Brawl Out.
Oh my god, bro!
That's how long it's been.
And
or the
and it's just like, why? Why is he here? Like, just-
Why?
now I remember what I wanted.
What's
So I'm
the
watching-
end goal with this? Like,
I'm
does
watching-
Tony
I'm
think
watching-
he's going to be like a future main eventer or something, and he needs to do this like 4 to
fair,
6 month arc with him? Like,
he's
Yeah,
gonna,
Tony.
well, hey brother, he's gonna go to AAA. He's gonna go make some money in
He's gonna be
AAA.
the mega champion.
Could you imagine if Preston Vance becomes a fucking monster?
no,
No, I
I'm
can't.
for it,
It's
man.
not
Hey.
gonna happen.
Hey, man, when
Honestly,
you're hanging with the beast like Roosh, man, there's only one way up, man. He's gonna be
honest,
a
Oh,
beast
fuck.
in there.
they should give him a mask again. Like, give him a lucha style mask this time.
Okay,
Well,
so I think we got $5. I think that's Australian.
He gets
yeah.
a dog mask.
Respect the Kingdom from Reggie. I want to say Ray J, whatever. Reggie
or Red J.
Reggie. We're calling him Reggie. Respect the Kingdom. I mean, like I said, man, they're nice, but they're not. They're not who I'd put with a main eventer right now who's just came back. And, you know. Anyway, Rick Ross, $1.99. Appreciate it. Ibu, young legend. You want you want talkative mofo.
I want to do it in his
bro.
voice.
Oh God,
Young legend. Talk to this motherfucker.
terrible.
It's really bad.
Jamin the Go-Go, $5. Used to work in union organising, and Ibu saying wrestlers were celebrating Stephanie for giving MLK Day as a paid day off. These people need a union. I do need UFC fighters, MMA fighters, WWE wrestlers, even AEW wrestlers, bro. Like, they all should.
Like, how do
You
they
know,
not see?
in an ideal, yeah.
How do they not see that? Like the two closest analogs, which are actors, the Screen Actors Guild. Like, you can't even get work in acting without being a union member, and sports leagues all have major unions with incredible bargaining power. But they're like, nah.
Bro, the NBA have negotiated the Players Association. Bro, the players get half the fucking profits, bro.
Yeah.
Like, literally half.
Yeah,
You know,
and
there's so much
as they should,
power.
you know, and as WWE and AEW and any wrestling talent.
Bro, WWE is $1 billion company, and like you got guys on the main roster making $250, which again, most of these people don't question these things because to them it's like, oh man, I make 6 figures living wage to wrestle. It's my dream, But it's like, and if that's how you want to live, then that's fine. But Sasha's also within her right to look at the numbers and be like, this shit makes no sense,
Yeah, it's all quick. We've parted up when what Park was saying, like, whether that's Sasha now, whether that's MJF when he was in earlier in the year, like when someone kind of like when one person's like, well, I want money, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, it's kind of if the promoter then bends over or whatever, it's like, how is that going to affect the
well, then why didn't you do that for me?
It's like, it's it has to be like a collective thing, if it's ever going to get to where. Well, I like to think the talent want it to get to. It would have to be like it's like with the UFC, man. Like there was a bunch of fighters signed like a petition, or at least signed the name on something. That one of the fighters was going around and like, to really actually try and start a union. There was someone signed to the UFC. I think it was a female fighter, and she was like, she literally like she got quite a lot of people to sign it, but she was just lacking the real star power, like the John Jones or a McGregor or someone like really serious that would make Dana White sweat. So as far as I'm aware, that's obviously there's no union at the moment. It doesn't seem like that's picked up any steam or anything. It's messy, man. It's a shame, but maybe they'll fix it one day. But it don't look like it's on the horizon anytime soon. But Far 5222. He pays the talent very well. $20 super chat. Mercedes running might become the Monkey's Paw type deal. Just super limited dates, being a part-timer while doing her other stuff on the side. If Bushy Rose streamlines the distribution of Stardom, I'll take it. I don't trust New Japan. Well, I don't know about it. So Dave's big thing with Sasha has been Dave's big thing with Sasha is that like she don't want to make the commitment,
Yeah, because
she don't want to sign for 3 years, and if she's not signing for 3 years or around that, then it's like for Tony Khan as a promoter, it's like, what's the point of having Sasha come in and making her the star that she clearly is? You know what I mean? She would have to like be a huge part of the division just for her to like peace out and go back to the Fed.
So that's my question I want to ask you guys, right? So because here's the deal. That's what Dave was saying. Dave was like, in AEW, you have to sign 3 years minimum, right? And so AEW and Sasha told you, nah, I want to do pay-per appearance and I can give you guys like 1 year guaranteed.
No.
Nope. Did you cut out?
That's rough.
No, I was just asking.
Oh no. I wouldn't touch that deal.
I don't do it, bro. It just makes you look. AEW need those perception wins, but they don't need. Well, they could definitely do some like big perception wins at the moment.
I would take it. I would take it if I was in charge. I'd be like, yep, yeah. Who cares? I think it's way overrated to be like she'll dominate the conversation so much that she doesn't add anything. Like being in there with Sasha Banks is like what improves you and what makes you more high profile. And I mean, I don't know. I think it's. I don't know. I would take it. It's just like if you have the chance to get the best possible talent, you should take it.
Even knowing that. Hold on, man. Even knowing that, I'm probably going back to WWE next year. You still do it?
Yeah, why not? It's being in AEW is not for a year does not hurt them in the long term when she then leaves.
Right.
It depends how you execute the angles, I guess.
True.
Because if you put all this time into Sasha, because if she comes into AEW for a year for limited appearances, she's still going to be like, well, she should be. Otherwise, fucking the stands will get crazy mad about it. Like she'll be treated like a big deal, loads of TV time, etc., etc. Like the obvious, like kind of like typical argument you'd see against that would be like that time could be used for someone else. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, a counter argument to that could be, well, if Sasha's elevating the person that she's with, then the talent that will stay around can still benefit from it. It's I don't know.
I think
My
long
instinct
term, like
says no, though.
future. I think long term, like future planning is like way overrated in wrestling. I just think about
Fair.
like the entire Attitude era took like 4 years. Like it's
Yeah.
and there was so much that happened, right? So much memorable stuff. Like all you have to just do the best you possibly can now. It's not Japan where you're
Parker,
yeah.
you make such an amazing point, and going even further, when you listen to podcasts of people about that time, and you ask them like, "So, did you guys map out broad plans about Vince and Austin?" They would like the writers would literally tell you like, "No, we would come into work on Monday, and be like, okay, we got to do something crazier than last week with Steve Austin," and like, it's like okay, it's like, all right, what about a truck? Like, yeah, all right, cool. It was just vibes every week, and like you said, like, you know. A lot of the most memorable, awesome stuff in wrestling, it wasn't like this 5-year plan or this fucking 10-year saga that people make video essays about and shit. You know, here's what I would say: if she's coming in for a year, if you know in advance that it's a short-term thing, Monty, you just have to book it well. In the sense that, like, as you're heading towards the end of this, you have to now transfer all of her star power and stardom and heat over to someone that you now want to prop up. You know what I mean? If you know Sasha's leaving, you build to a program where beating her is like a big deal, and you choose the right person to then do that. You know?
Yeah, I saw if she comes in, and because I saw if they said I saw someone talking about they do a limited date, you got to put the title on her right away, and I didn't even like the idea of that itself. Like, so if you get her for 6 matches for the year, it's like I don't really see the point of putting the title on her. I'd rather just have her do the big matches.
Yeah, that's the thing as well that put me off. And like, when Manuel EB asked a question, it's like limited dates, only 1 year. You know, if I could get like a full year out of her, like 30 matches on TV, then it's like that's a different question, you know. But did you see that stat on Twitter where it was like John Moxley wrestled 46 times on TV and pay-per-view in 2022 for AEW? Like, what a fucking animal! Like, and he done all
coming
the
off of
indie
taking
dates as
time
well.
off. Yeah, he came right from taking time off after going like for
An animal.
alcoholism
Going through
recovery,
going through like physique changes as well because of obviously like the time
and he was doing
rehab,
GCW and Revolver
he's an
and
animal,
Beyond
bro.
and all that stuff. Yeah,
I'm sure at one
John's
point
crazy.
during
New
this show
Japan.
he hurt his knee at one point and just worked through it. You know.
Yeah, he just did it. He was like, fuck it.
And you know, it's so funny because I think Moxley gets a chance where he can come in, because you know how we complain that most wrestlers don't get that much time to wrestle on AEW. It's like the opposite with Moxley. Moxley just comes in and is like, I'm going to wrestle this guy.
Yeah, just
and Tony Khan just gives it to him.
Yeah,
that's what happened with Moxley and Takeshita too. Like, he came in and said, I'm going to wrestle him, right, and then just got it.
He do what he wants, you know what I mean? Luckily, he picked some cool people to wrestle.
Anyway, John Moxley strikes me as somebody who just, like, if he's home not wrestling, he's just, like, fidgety because he can't wrestle. And he just feels like he has to. You know what I mean?
Looking at the blade, you know? look at the staring at it. It's talking to him.
Yo, listen, Renee's watching daytime television, and she's like, John, what's wrong? And he's just like, I need to be out there. I need to feel the blood,
I need to feel it, you know. I need that feeling, bro. You know.
He tells me it's either wrestling or cocaine. You pick, like, this fucking.
I'm still waiting for the day Moxley comes out of the tunnel or his little when he does the entrance, bleeding already from his forehead. Like, I just need that visual of him doing that.
I'll never forget John Moxley blading after Tanahashi gave him a sling blade.
Yeah, bro, that was fucking. That might be my favorite one. Like of that like 2020, that 2022 phase where he was literally like blading to the point you felt like a bit. You know, that was probably my favorite one. Like, bro ate the legendary sling blade, and he was like, "Fuck it, get some juice, bro." You know?
That's why it popped me when him and Punk had that promo where Punk was like, he was like, back up. I don't want you bleeding all over me.
Bro, oh my god, gotta talk about it. You gotta see the CM Punk Instagram comment on MJF post. Bro, it's a real record right there. So MJF posted. You know, everyone's been posting the PWI plaques. So MJF won something like best promo or best heel or whatever, and he also won best feud of the year with Punk. So he's holding the plaques up, like, of course, like the usual picture that you see, but he's taped over CM Punk's name with black tape, and he's put it on Instagram. And CM Punk commented on MJF post like, find some black tape for the ratings as well, so you can cover those up.
Jesus.
Because he covered up with taping that said MJF on it, so he made it feel like he feuded with himself.
Monty, it's funny how like blatant Punk is like posting his own statistics on Instagram and stuff. Like last week, he was posting like the most watched YouTube video of the year in AEW was.
He's fucking. Need him back, bro.
He's such a lunatic.
It's beast.
This man Punk, like he's literally sitting at home and he's like, was that the most watched YouTube video?
I'll still never like publicly admit that that his whole media scrum ordeal was a bad thing, because like if you would have had a live camera on me reacting to it, it's like I can't give that take, you know. It'd be very fake of me.
I'll tell you this. My face is more like, what are you doing? Like, what is he doing? Like, what is he fucking doing? Look, man, Punk is hilarious. I'm not gonna do the whole Punk spiel. It's been talked about to death. But what I will say is,
that's the old backup Hangman.
That's Hollywood Hangman Adam Pearce. I don't know if anybody has noticed. Since rebranding as Ibu of WrestlePurists, I have made no CM Punk tweets. And my New Year's resolution is I will not tweet about CM Punk on the timeline until he shows up again on AEW television.
What if he's at Mania versus Stone Cold Steve Austin?
That works too. But until he resurfaces on television, I will not tweet about him anymore.
See, Scarecrow gets it. You know,
what do you say?
Scarecrow gets it. You know, he said he loved the scrum. That shit was hilarious. You know,
we love Scarecrow.
Did you hear my story about CM Punk on Monday?
No.
I said that I was thinking of quitting my job, and then I saw CM Punk post that picture of him back in the gym, and I decided that I can go back to work.
CM Punk, you know.
I'll tell you what, Monty.
Inspiring the nation. Look
Monty,
at that.
I guarantee you, when Punk looks at these Dynamites doing like 860,000 viewers, he's definitely pumping his fists. Like,
he's so happy. He is so thrilled that last night didn't get to 1 million. He's like, fuck this fucking company.
That man definitely was doing the no milli troll.
Bro, he's gonna walk into
Game
Tony
7
Khan's
couldn't get a
office.
milli.
When he gets cleared from his shoulder, his tricep injury, and he walks into Tony Khan's office to like either, you know, have that last meeting where he gets his contract terminated or he smooths it over. He's gonna walk in with his file with Brandon First and tweets, you know, check this one out.
No, not Brandon Thurston, Dave Meltzer tweets. So he's just like, because you know Tony's going
to rub salt in the wound just a little bit more.
No, right?
Yeah.
No, Punk's gonna be like, you're
with some of those
18-49 is down, attendance.
You remember that time where Dave was apologizing on Every Other Observer about what happened with the Punk and Elite situation? He's gonna slide some of those quotes in too on the papers when Tony's going through and looking at the ratings.
That Dave was like really doing like putting himself like in the situation. He's like, you know, I should have spoke to him. It's like if I would have spoke to him, it wouldn't have happened. And it's like maybe it's CM Punk, any what do you want? You know?
Could you imagine when Dave caught wind that like the Elite and Punk don't like each other? Can you imagine him going like, "Hey Punk, I don't know about this man." And Punk's just like, "Shut the fuck up, bro! Like, what are you talking about? Leave me alone." Can you imagine Punk going to Dave like, "It's too late, Dave. I'm going to bury him." And Dave's like, "You shouldn't do that." And he's like, "No, I'm still going to do it." Like,
the Mavs fan 84 199. Appreciate it. He said, "What is the reason why wrestlers can't be in SAG?" I don't actually know, but obviously I just know
there's lots of reasons. It's
they're not actors.
Go ahead, Parker.
Well, so they're like in this weird mix between athletes but they're not like a combat sport. And actors, like they're not officially like signed actors. Also, one big part about like SAG endorsed events is that they have to be like completely staffed by people in Screen Actors Guild. So like not just the talent, but camera people, crew, all that type of stuff, all have to be in SAG too. And like WWE's like, fuck that, we'll just pay him. Like, and
that's what Freddie Prinze wants to do.
yeah.
Freddie
Yeah.
Prinze literally said that, like, because if
Mhm.
you don't know already, Freddie Prinze, famous actor, he wants to start his own wrestling promotion. He used to do creative in WWE in the 2000s. He's got a pretty good reputation amongst the talent and stuff like that. He knows his stuff. He's got a podcast. Seems like a really great guy, genuinely. And yeah, that was one of his.
Douchebag.
Yeah, he was in Scooby Doo. He was.
gas.
He wants when he was saying when he starts his promotion that he's hoping to start off that he wants all of his staff on SAG. Like that's like one of the big things for him. Like he wants all the things we've been talking about, like unionization, SAG, benefits for staff. You know what I mean? Like that sort of shit. So, I mean, hopefully he pulls it off. Do you know what I mean? So. I don't know exactly what sort of scale it's going to be on. Maybe it's just another shitter indie. Maybe it's somewhere on. Maybe it's on some obscure TV network. Like a, like
El
Impact
Rey?
Theater. Yeah, some shit like that. Man.
El
I
Rey.
don't know.
Money.
Hangman, you'll be good at this. Fill some dead air because I need to disappear for like 30 seconds.
Give me a topic. Fuck, what the hell?
Are you
Have
going to
you guys-
restructure the
have you guys-
WrestlePurists board?
Okay, so I'll tell you guys this. A lot has happened in the time that I've been gone, right? Like I said earlier, I've been doing some soul searching. You know what I mean? Walking through the mountains, sleeping on dirt, just trying to understand what the real meaning of life is, right? And at some point, Monty was able to reach to me because he was like, listen, Bo, the ratings are down, Bo. The viewership is down, Bo. We need you, Bo. And I was like, really? In it? Like, is it really down in it? And he was like, yeah, bro, it's down, man. It's no cutting it, bro. And so I said, look, we had to have a meeting, right? And so I got myself cleaned up, took a shower, because I was in the mountains for a couple of days. And we had a meeting, and he was just like, look, bro, we need you back. And I said, look, Monty, I'd be happy to return, but I need to be on the board of directors. And so he was down for it. And then I found out that when Monty put it to a vote, there were a couple of negative votes on my name. One of them was Arthur Oliver, who you guys know as AO.
Arthur Oliver.
This is my first public address to this individual, and I will say this. He did not want me on the board, and a couple other people didn't want me on the board. And so what did I do? What I did was I then called some of my people, and I executed my power as majority shareholder. And I'm going to announce to you guys now that Arthur Oliver, AO, has been voted off the board of directors of WrestlePurists. He's no longer on. That's why he's not here today. Because frankly, I was not going to make my return with him still here. I had to get him out of here. So I'm back. I am now the co-CEO of the brand. I am the president of WrestlePurist. Yeah. And AO, as a member of the board, is no more. He is talent only, and he's currently on suspension. And you know what? I will take some time right now to address them.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm just giving. I'm giving everybody.
Why is he making statements on? Parker looks shocked. I'm hearing suspensions being handed out. Ibu does not have the authority to do this,
I think it's kind of
not
sad.
without, at least not. Go on, man.
I think it's kind of sad to suspend the Purist guys when they're going through a lot right
Wait.
So
hold on a minute.
No, here's the deal, Monty. So what I said was, AO's been removed as a board member. It's still business as usual, Monty. It's still business as usual. And Unpurist.
I thought the opposite was happening.
Well, what's happening is I use my power as majority shareholder to reinstate myself to the board. To reinstate myself to the board. And what's happening now is AO's removed from the board. Under further deliberation, we'll see what happens with him from that standpoint. But he's still a talent.
That hasn't been approved. Just yet.
It has. We'll see what the SEC says. And I'll tell you this. I'm very disappointed that he wouldn't show up today. But at the end of the day, I hold the power. He doesn't. And I am saying that he needs to come next week because he's been called. Apparently, I don't know for sure. I wasn't watching the show in my absence, but I hear he was calling me out for about a month. I don't know if that's true. I heard he's been calling me out. And Parker's getting nervous. And I'll say this, man. I don't know if he wants those problems because he couldn't handle backup. He couldn't handle Hollywood Hangman Adam Pierce. What's he gonna do with Ibu? What's he really gonna do with Ibu? I don't know.
This is not a good promo.
No.
You got better in you, bro.
I'm calling you for Tootie out. I'm calling you to bring you Tushy next week to WrestlePurists podcast. And we're gonna see what happens. See what fucking happens.
Okay, so as the owner, founder, and as much as Backup Hangman likes to say is majority shareholder, that is definitely not true. He's now the second person who claims to be majority shareholder. Alfred Kunawa as well, who also claims he's 51% owner. He also claims it's not true. I can tell you that neither of them are correct on this. As that is me.
I am the majority shareholder.
So Backup Hangman did officially request AO's removal from the board. It has not been accepted. The rest of the board members will review it, and we will come to what we feel is the best for the rest of the shareholders. Ibu did exercise his power as one of the founders of the content channel to reinstate himself back on the board. The unpurist side of the board are very unhappy about this, and there is some conversations and meetings that we need to have. But
a lot of typing in Microsoft Teams.
Yes, Ibu is back. He has requested removal of Big AO. Not sure if that's going to get accepted. It may not. We're going to review it.
I'll tell you what. Listen. Fuck all the deliberation. Back in the day, we fought like men, right? So you know what? How about we do this? Hey, yo, you come on the show next week. I'll be here. I don't know if you're going to be here. You come next week. We'll see you deserve to be on the board. We'll put it to a fan vote. When you come next week, we'll debate whatever you wanted to debate. And you know what?
That's going to go so well for you.
I don't know if you want that, bro.
My
you fucking want that, man. Come on, man.
Listen, my loyal supporters will know. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little debate, right? And at the end of the show, the fans in the chat and the live chat can vote. Is AO still on the board or not? And of course,
hates you.
They're gonna obviously vote no. They're gonna vote no, and I can't wait.
I think AO is gonna get a promotion.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna fucking find out.
Hey man,
don't go longer in the chase.
Evil's gonna go to his parking spot tomorrow and is already gonna start getting painted over his name and everything, and just.
No, it can happen real quick, man. No, obviously, I'm not saying we're WWE or anything, but look how quick the changes have gone down over there.
He's probably about as big as them.
Darren Walker, £5. If FTR sign new deals with AEW, then expect Punk to be back. A shame the Briscoes not allowed on TV. Could do MJF and the Briscoes versus Punk and FTR. Yeah, man. We might as well talk about that now because that was one of the subjects that I had noted down. So. FTR, Dax went on his podcast that he does, and he basically said that he requested some time off, and that has been approved by Tony Khan. And man, they said that they're going to take some time off, let the bodies heal. They're going to think about what they want to do in the future, stuff like that. I believe their contracts are up in April, and they said they're just going to do some reflecting, some recovering, and it looks like they're not going to be on TV for a minute, so. Where do you guys think they end up? Do you think they're WWE bound? Do you think they're going to stay in AEW? Obviously, Darren says here with £4 super chat, but he thinks if FTR sign new deals, they expect Punk to be back. Yeah, man. I'll go back and forth on it, to be honest. So I don't know.
I think they're staying, and I think the discourse around them just taking a break is kind of crazy. Like they're just going on a vacation. They beat themselves up the last 6 months, with all the crazy matches, or the whole year with the matches they did with the Briscoes, especially, in the traveling they did. And I don't know why people are making a bigger deal of it than it is. I know their contracts are up, but this is just me thinking, like, if Tony's I'm pretty sure that they know. Tony's giving them time knowing they're going to make up for it, or something like that. I just don't really think Tony's going to let them sit out the rest of their contract, thinking about what they're going to do next.
Yeah, I can definitely hear that. It's like I think I can't remember if I said it on Don't Go Live with you, Park, or on Monday with you, Manny. But it's like FTR getting a break is like before Dax even said it, I was like, I'm expecting them to take a break because Dax is absolutely battered, you know, and that Dax is battered. Cash has been put through it as well the past year. Like they've worked fucking hard, man, and like Dax has been pretty open with like that he's fucking destroyed. Like literally when we South Plug, when we announced our tag team of the year and it was FTR, he quote tweeted it. He was like, I've literally broke my body to have the year that I've had this year. So yeah, like I said, it's not really surprising to me that they're having some time off. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I think they're leaving. I really do. Like they took the time to take all the belts off of them, right? They lost all the championships they had in the last month. Obviously they were going to take time off anyway, but like to do the whole like belt collector storyline and then just sort of quietly lose them all. I mean, obviously the Briscoes match was huge, but like the other stuff was not anything all that, you know.
It's very unceremonious.
Yeah, I mean, there's to lose to like fucking Yoshihashi and Goto, like. And the AAA thing, like nobody even really paid attention to. Not to mention lost it. Like, didn't they lose them too? Because I wasn't really paying attention to Dragon Lee and
they did. Yeah,
they lost to Dragon.
They lost to a Fed-bound dude. Like, come on.
Yes.
So
Parker, he literally won. Dragon Lee won the belt, and it was like, I'm relinquishing this because I'm going to WWE.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot of steps to take to just like keep them around. I also just like, I don't know. They just like Dax clearly just loves doing like whatever is gonna like get people or make him seem like interesting or something like that. And I say that to be like that insulting about it. I just think it's, I don't know. It's a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I like either. You've been working this whole time about being unhappy in your company while also being baby faces, while also like insulting journalists who your boss really trusts, who you also talk to privately, which is like, it's just like, there's no like consistency or anything to it. Like they're great wrestlers. I love FTR as a tag team, but I don't know. The outside of the ring stuff is like pretty insufferable to me, and so I tend to think that
you're not a fan of Dax the Axe on Twitter, you know?
No, he's like a dipshit. He needs to like sort it out.
Pops
like,
me, bro.
So,
you know?
So I do want to add, Parker, on the thing you're talking about them losing for example, the IWGP titles. I think it was Dax on his podcast. He said that they wanted to keep them, and they were just like, no, like they wanted to go on vacation or whatever, like a break. So it's like I think they wanted them to win them. They still keep them, but the FTR just like, no, we don't want it. So it's just.
But that's so. But even that, like, even if you want to take a break, like that shows that there's like some like drive that's been lost. You know what I mean? Like to be the fucking IWGP Tag Team Champions for people who are like such self-professed like passionate wrestling people who live, eat, sleep, breathe wrestling, and to be triple champions in the US, Mexico, and Japan in the most prestigious, I would argue, tag team championships in all three countries, outside of the AEW tag team championships, of course. Like that's like come on. you like it's that bad that you wanted to like take a break that you're giving up. So again, I don't know how much of it is a gimmick and them trying to like work people or whatever, but I don't know. It just seems more likely that they're going to WWE. I feel like maybe they feel like they've done everything they needed to do in AEW, and maybe the whole fucking Free the Revival thing was just an act to get them more over on Twitter too. So I don't know.
Wow, Mr. Dax. I think there is definitely a lot to the way he talks about certain things on Twitter and stuff, and it's like it is clear that there has been times this year where both of them have been frustrated, whether that be, his constant wanting to wrestle the Bucks thing, which you know what I mean, like that whole thing, and
which they literally did last year. Like I don't understand. They wrestled the Bucks. They've wrestled the Bucks twice now. I don't get like
he talked about it on the first FTR podcast. He was like, basically they were under the impression that they were going to do the 4-belt match at All Out, I think it was, and like it just didn't happen, you know.
And
And
the
it's just
fucking
like they
Hardys
found it.
showed up.
Yeah, they found it very, you know, they found it very coincidental, you know.
And then
It's crazy. There just happened to be an insanely over tag team act, the Acclaim, that was clearly the right move to give them the tag team championships. And like sorry, that's how wrestling goes sometimes. Like it's cool to have a plan, but like it's what we were just talking about the attitude era. You go with what is hot and what is going to be like. You don't just stick to the plan if it's not going to be as good as something that you know is going to be better than it. Like obviously going with FTR Briscoes for the rest of the year and giving the Acclaim the tag titles was clearly the right move, right? So I don't know. Sorry that you wanted to do that yet another Bucks match because you already wrestled one in fucking like May.
Parker, here's a good example of like sticking to a plan not being great. Scorpio Sky was promised, like when he got an extension with AEW in 2020, that he would win the TNT Championship at some point, right? And so part of why he won it in 2022 was because it was kind of like, hey, what happened to this like thing in my deal, you know? And so they gave it him, but by that point, AEW's are just the depth of their talent roster, among other things, it just expanded so much to where it was like. Him winning the belt at that time.
Yeah, sorry, it just made no sense to have Scorpio Sky as your TNT champion when you have all these guys on the roster. It's just
right.
So you make the right. You switch gears. Sorry.
You're exactly.
Yeah, you got, like you said, you go with what's hot, man. You got to be fluid. You got to be fluid with your booking. You know, if something's not working, change it. If something unexpected works, go with it.
I'm a fucking speech and debate coach at a high school, and I have to do this. Like, sorry, I don't care if you're a senior and you've been doing this all 4 years. If you're not as good as this sophomore who's like won tournaments this year, like, sorry, you're not on varsity. You don't go. Like, it's just what you do. I don't get it. Sorry, that wasn't the plan. I don't know. And just like all the fucking off-putting shit, like the Cornette stuff is like. It's just dude, why? Even if you see that's just like it's what fucking conservatives on Twitter do when they're trying to like trigger the libs or whatever. They're like, I'm gonna do what they don't want me to do, and people are gonna love it, or people are gonna hate me, but at least they're talking about me. And so
the funny, you know what's the funny thing about the Cornette stuff is look, I'll tell you guys this. There's plenty of people in that AEW locker room who are partial to him, if not flat out like him. But they just don't really say anything about it. Whereas the funniest thing about Dax is the majority of his recent viral Cornette rants were unprovoked. Like literally none of them were because someone asked him, like, "What do you think about Jim?" Like he'll just literally be like, "I just love my wife and my daughter, and I love pro wrestling, and I love this business so much. I'll tell you guys what. Listen, Jim Cornette, man. Look, y'all can say whatever y'all want about him, man. Look, he deserves to say what he wants to say about pro wrestling. He's been in this business so goddamn long." Goddamn, I mean, shit. Look, traveling the roads up and down with Magnum TA and these guys in Mid-Atlantic, I mean, you can let him say whatever he wants about wrestling. That's a guy who knows the business. It's like, well, no one fucking asked. He's done this like 3 times last year. I love wrestling, man. Jim Cornette, man.
I don't know. Maybe his idea is just that if he keeps presenting himself as this like person who's like been slighted in some way that will somehow get some like organic movement behind him because FTR are like super over.
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. It's like the only thing I'd like, even with what you're saying about like Dax last year and just going with what was hot at the time, it's like it's funny because it's just like FTR were literally like one of the most over acts like in wrestling at the time it was happening, but it's like the Acclaim being so hot kind of needed to be like capped off with something, you know, and obviously we saw how big like the pay-per-view matches with Serving Our Glory and that sort of stuff. So it's just kind of like FTR were able to manage to keep themselves as over as the world whenever they came out. But it's like even if it wasn't like the perfect story line for them for 2022, they still got to work with all the Briscoes and stuff. But if you're
all you got was putting on maybe the best tag team trilogy in American history. Sorry.
I get there. I can't.
It's
the only valid complaint I can see is that they didn't get like AEW pay-per-view shine. Like I guess you could say that. Like they weren't put in feature positions.
I would say that they were very diminished on TV in the roughly around July to September-ish in a kind of a weird way to me. Like it was kind of like it felt like they just weren't.
Yeah,
on
for
show.
how
It was
hot they
weird.
were as well, it made no sense. It was like, why are FTR not like all over
Yeah.
TV?
And,
Like I said, one of the hottest acts literally in all of wrestling at the time. It was really weird.
Yeah, but
You also gotta-
and in fact, hold on. And in fact, when I think about it, I know a lot of plans had to get changed around when Punk broke his foot, right? But when he came back, I mean, they could have if they liked. And I know they had to rush the build, so you kind of can't do it the way that I'm saying it. But, and you know, I'm saying this now because you know how Punk and MJF were going to feud post All Out, right? I could have seen them play around with the whole idea of like, is the Pinnacle all on Punk's side now? Because remember, when Punk beat Max at Revolution, right? Remember, it was Wardlow who helped Punk, right? And FTR are on Wardlow's side in kayfabe in the story in general, and they obviously lined up CM Punk. I could have seen them be implemented in that story when Max got back, but you know, there was just so many different moving parts happening and shit. It just kind of is what it is. I do want to say this just real quick. I personally love Dax Harwood. I think he's awesome. I think he's a great wrestler. I really enjoy his style of wrestling. I enjoy his mind for the business. In terms of what they're going to do and what they're not going to do, I genuinely think they're doing the veteran thing of we're going to sit back, heal our wounds, and see how the wrestling landscape plays out. Because on one side, they have the WWE, which, they have a great relationship with Paul Levesque, but we don't know if Paul Levesque's going to be in the company in 2-3 months. And then in AEW, they have a situation where their biggest political ally would have been CM Punk, and we don't know if he's going to be in AEW in 2 months. So I genuinely believe it really is going to come down to that. I think they're going to sit back and see how this whole thing shakes out. And depending on whether Punk comes back and depending on if Hunter really does have the book for, a significant time further, that's where they're going to make their choice.
I was going to throw in, you brought up a lot of things happening because I think they were going to feud with the United Empire around the summer, around Forbidden Door, and then just that sucks if you have your whole creative around one guy and I can just imagine being backstage or being at your hotel, just seeing your creative just blow up in your face because what happened with CM Punk and the Elite, and then hating the Elite even more now if they do actually hate the Elite and why they don't really like them, their frustrations, and why they want to leave. It's just like a whole weird situation all around with everybody involved in that thing.
Yeah, literally, it's like it's a weird city. Like from every perspective, like there is legitimate reason for everyone to feel slighted, at least in some way, or didn't get what they should have got, or whether that's Punk, whether that's Dax, whether that's the Young Bucks, whether that's Kenny, whether that's like MJF, whether that's what I mean, like all these people that were heavily because I think, bro, look, this is what happens when something blows up with the fucking biggest star in the company. You know what I mean? It affects a lot of shit, bro, and it fucks up a lot of things. So
you remember during that time period where we all thought that the Pinnacle was going to be reformed with CM Punk as the leader.
The Punk,
so, I mean,
yeah, he's gone. You know what I mean? And it's like people saying in the live chat, it's like Stokely said that we was meant to do stuff with CM Punk, like the Firm versus like CMFTR and Wardlow or something like that, and it's just like that all it's all gone. But anyway, a couple of super chats, and we need to get to this Dynamite review because we're nearly 2 hours in. WrestlePurists for Fabrizio Romano, $5. This is from our board meeting that we did briefly earlier. Breaking sources telling me Unpurist United have no interest in signing backup handman due to nagging grind running injury. No, here we go. Yeah, man, it's it's hard to work with these people, Fabrizio.
Oh my, hey Monty, CNBC just tweeted that AEW,
oh my God,
AEW interest merger.
Wait, what?
If you look at the,
it says Manny went AEW to
yeah.
What?
Matt.
Just read the headline.
Yeah, I know. I was sorry. I'm eating some Takis.
Wow.
The WWE smaller rival AEW interested in merger, and it's from CNBC now.
Could you imagine like a fucking super wrestling promotion where like Jesus Christ, that sounds horrible. That sounds fucking horrible. It's like, oh my God.
That's very unprofessional.
Okay.
While doing a podcast.
The key
I'm
points
sorry.
on this CNBC article are, because this is part
Ma-
huge
Monty's
at the
shaking.
top of
Monty's
at the top of article. What you say?
shaking because all podcasts he's been coping like it's not.
Bro
even
said
gonna
I'm
happen, bro.
shaking, bro. I'm
It's
just
not
I'm
happening, bro.
sat here just
No,
scrolling the
it's
thing, bro.
clickbait. It's clickbait. It's nothing.
Read
Yeah,
it, Monty. Go ahead.
There's nothing really here, bro. Like, man said I'm
They literally
shaking.
say
Man
in,
said
like,
I'm
the third
shaking, bro.
paragraph,
Man thought it was me.
Long shot because the McMahons may view selling to the Khans as a non-starter. It's literally exactly what Monty's saying.
It's just CNBC publishing their version of this, what we already know.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's publishing the fucking Fightful report.
Gotcha.
Bro, even if my thing is right, it's like I never said that I don't think Tony and like his dad wouldn't be interested in it. He's like, bro, even if Tony, like, even if it was all he wanted in life, it's like I wanna own Vince McMahon. You know what I mean? I wanna buy his company. I wanna buy his baby, and I will do what I want. Like, if that was his one goal in life, I still don't think it happens. You know, like.
The thing is, when you think about what it would look like, right? If they merged, right, under the banner of WWE, do you realize they would need like 4 brands?
So nasty, bro. That's so nasty.
Disgusting.
They
would literally need 4 brands. Like
AEW, like it would be like NXT Dark Level Up or some shit. You know?
You know what? I think Tony's just gonna turn Raw into Nitro. That's what's gonna happen. Get rid of Raw and just put Nitro.
I need him to get those WCW routes, bro. That's where the real goal is. You know,
if Tony could run WWE, he would do Mark stuff with that too. He would absolutely make it the aesthetic of like Raw is War 1998 or some shit. Like he would
he'd
totally
bring back the fist immediately on SmackDown.
For SmackDown, right? Yeah, he'd bring back the SmackDown
immediately.
I would to see his take on what the invasion would look like, because I want to know what like stuff that
jizz himself.
Still can't get over
Monty. Tony be backstage like, oh, and then Roman Reigns is gonna come on Dynamite, and then eventually have one Raw. Oh my god!
Just imagine the stuff him and Paulie would just be cooking up in the back for this invasion.
Heyman would end up running the whole company within about 18 months. You know, if he would weasel his way. He'd be Tony Khan's like right hand man for a bit, and he'll be like, listen. You know, listen,
Kevin Dunn is still
Heyman will just be like, listen, Tony, you're spending too much time on this, man. You've got all for business here. But just leave it to me, brother. You know what I mean? I've got you. And Heyman's got the keys again. You know, first time in 24 years. That's how we get in there. Go on, real quick.
Dynamite opens with it's all dark. There's a spotlight in the ring, and Heyman's sitting on a chair, and he's just like. So this is the revolution, huh?
Yeah.
In 1994, started.
We reviewed Dynamite.
Yes.
No, yeah, we got one last one. Parker's absolutely articulated exactly how I feel about FTR better than I could, because he's good at that thing. You know what I mean? He's the best. Appreciate the super chat, $5 or Showtime Spurs. As always a great supporter in these live chats. AEW Dynamite, we opened up with Hangman versus Moxley. It was very good, and Hangman won. Thoughts?
It was very good, and Hangman won.
Yeah.
I think that's Moxley's second clean pin fall that he's lost. If I said that right. Second clean pin.
What was the first?
Punk.
Yeah, Punk.
Oh shit, yeah, Punk. Of course.
They did really hard lariats.
Wait, so Punk was the first one?
Yeah.
Because Kenny beat him by cheating. MJF beat him by cheating.
Lance Archer was not illegal, but it was like a no DQ match.
It was a Texas death match where you don't have to pin your opponent. So Moxley just didn't answer the count of 10.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
a beast. You know what I mean? The murder hawk monster. Everybody dies. You know. Pop. Yeah, man. Mox vs. Hangman. It was really good shit. Obviously, they've done the whole angle where it was like, oh, Mox has got an injury. He's concussed or whatever the fuck they were doing. I thought this was very. You know, sometimes in wrestling where you're like, is there any subtlety in anything anymore? You know, it's just like, and it's like zooming in on Hangman outside the ring. Just like,
Oh man, if Hangman regresses, bro, I'm gonna be so pissed off. Like, come on, bro, who cares? So what do you put him out, man? Like,
it was so heavy-handed, you know, like the whole like afters in the match. The match was tremendous, and it's not.
Yeah.
I'm just being fucking grumpy Monty, of course, but like, yeah,
I
man.
don't like. I mean, the storytelling was like really heavy-handed, and I don't really like concussion angles anyway. As like, who cares? Yeah, like what
my
tickets
God.
are that selling?
I'll tell you this, Parker, because it was probably during the period where you weren't able to catch a lot of the shows, but the very beginning of this this recent run of angles leading to this match, it did seem like they were kind of doing this thing where like literally Hangman's like he's stumbling and grabbing his head like, oh, my brain, like, and like Excalibur, the Taz is like, oh, hold on there, Excalibur, I think he's not really clear yet. I think Hangman is I think his head is giving him some problems there. And
Referee's got to get in there.
yeah, Excalibur's just like, that is right, Hangman Adam Page did a silver concussion, but no, legitimately though, like at the beginning of the build, it was just Hangman like he'll get in like a fight and he'll kind of stumble a little bit like, oh, my brain. But thankfully they did kind of reel it back and tell a really nice story. I thought the build of this match was very good generally. And obviously Hangman needs this win more than John Moxley. John Moxley is pretty fucking Teflon at this
Do
point.
you think this is Moxley's break?
I could see them giving him like off, and then he comes back and they run it back again for Revolution.
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
As I told our good friend Joe yesterday during our live stream, I think the real main event for Revolution is going to be Hangman Moxley, lights out match. So
thing is as well, like everyone talks about this break at Moxley's due, blah blah blah. It's like with wrestlers, because they live such like a fast pace and they're flying around and stuff everywhere. So like, Mox could literally just take like 2-3 weeks off, you know, and be like, yeah, I'm ready to go again. You know, I'm bored at home now. Like, obviously,
I got this baby.
Yeah, then obviously with Dax, like we was talking about earlier, like I'm sure Mox is beat up, but like with Dax, like he's pretty open about it, you know. He's like, yo, I'm fucked. Like I'm a broken man, you know. So he's Mox, he might take just a couple of weeks off, so he might not take any time off, you know. He's clearly a fucking animal, like we was talking about earlier. He's a savage. So yeah, man. Next up we had, I believe it was Adam Cole.
Or was it Adam Cole? Was it Jungle Hook or was it Adam Cole?
It was Adam Cole.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah,
It's all about
yeah, man. Adam Cole obviously returned. He was introduced by Tony Schiavone. They added in a little pop there, and Tony Schiavone said he was unfortunately introducing him, doing a bit of Schiavone Cole lore. Yeah, man, he came to the ring and he kind of detailed kind of like his experience whilst being out injured. He talked about how scary it was having to deal with some of the, some of the symptoms that came with his concussion injury and stuff like that. How he couldn't leave his house, how he couldn't stay in the car for longer than 15 minutes without throwing up, struggling to sleep.
Very scary stuff.
Yeah, man, because concussions are scary, bro. They are scary. Not being able to sleep at night, borderline getting emotional at points through the promo. It felt very authentic, very real. It was a brilliant promo. He then announces that he is back. He's back. It looks like he's cleared. Yeah, man, that was basically the meat of it. You know, Adam Cole is back. He sounded like a very scary time he spent out. We didn't get a lot of updates on him while he was out, which made it even like more worrying as a fan because we knew it was a concussion and a head injury, you know. But yeah, it's just really cool to see him back, you know. It's just really nice, and obviously he left as a face. He left as a heel. Sorry, got that wrong 3 times. He left as a heel. He's obviously come back, and he's going to be perceived like a baby face by the fans. I don't know what that will mean for booking. I don't know if the booking will actually turn him fully babyface. I'd assume and recommend that they do. But who knows, man? Like obviously we was asked that super chat earlier. What would we do with him? It's like there's not really anything that fucking hits me like a bolt of lightning when I'm like, that's the thing to do.
Yeah.
But hopefully they do something with him where he still feels prominent, big time, main event star, because people love the guy, man. Like those reactions, like the pop last night was fucking ridiculous. Obviously with it being a surprise as well on top of it, it was just yeah.
You know what I'll say, Monty? Even though Adam Cole's a star, right? But when you look at his debut the first time, right, in AEW, at the end of the day, he is underneath Danielson and CM Punk in the food chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now kind of coming back singularly, it's one of those things where it's like it really does feel like a big boost to the product, And so like I do think they should treat him as like the big superstar coming in now this time around. Even though I'm not gonna say he wasn't the first time. He had really fun tags with the Super Click, but because Punk and Danielson were the big acquisitions, he was immediately slotted in that trios role because it was a way to kind of give him something to do while not diluting from like Danielson and Punk already playing the role of being the big free agent acquisitions. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I also do want to say this is the first time that in AEW I think Adam Cole's completely healthy. So I kind of want to see how he's going to wrestle now that he's healthy. And then I think something he can do is just feud with Orange Cassidy again for the All Atlantic title, and he just gets it off him. And you have something for Adam Cole to do.
Yeah, there's a few suggestions for his booking. Detonate and Nova, Cole versus Miro. Wow.
We will never see Miro in AEW.
Cole versus Claudio at Supercard.
That's brutal for Claudio.
Juan, shout out Juan. Cole versus Darby for the TNT title. I mean, yeah, man. But like I said, even those ideas, bro, it's like they all sound like a good time and shit, but none of them like strike me as like, let's do it. Like none of them. Yeah, man. There's so many options for him that are good, but I don't think there's one that's like fucking hits you in the face. Like obviously, like when the Elite came back, it's like they're obviously gonna go after the trios. You know what I mean? When Punk came back, he was obviously gonna go after Mox. You know what I mean? It was just like, his return has been more kind of like it's because the books are tied up in something else. I don't know, maybe like the Kenny Omega match or something, but it's hard because they're all baby faces at the moment. So it's like that means someone will have to turn. And it's like I don't know, like I don't know, man. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but it's good to see him back, basically. Okay, so I've got wrote down here the Acclaimed. And I don't know what they did.
They talked with Billy Gunn. And they were on the Walk of Fame.
Caster just talked about canceled people.
And then they scissored.
Nothing crazy there. Okay, Jungle Hook versus Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. This was all about one moment, So
yeah, it was fun. It was cool. I like Hook. I like Jungle Boy.
But that one moment, though, that T-bone. So this suplex in a big man. And there's what Hook did last night, Feats were achieved last night when Big Bill was quite literally flung across the ring with a T-bone suplex.
I'm all in on Big Bill. He's awesome.
Oh my god, man!
Bro, I was saying it in a live chat yesterday. Bro, at the end of the day, you need to understand something. He's very tall. He's in good shape. He's good shape, and he has long hair, punches. And he's not a horrendous worker by any means. So you give me that. So
crazy. Like when he was Big Cass, like in his last run, when he was feuding with Danielson, people were like, this was when people were having, because it was in the middle of Okada's big run, and people were like, who's the most high profile wrestler in the world that Okada couldn't get a 4-star match out of? And like the most common answer was Big Cass. Like it was horrible.
He's a new man now. Yeah, he's a new man,
I don't know.
I mean,
But honestly though, like at the end of his time in WWE, like even people in WWE were like, "Yo, he was a bit of a loose cannon, a bit of a dick, blah blah blah." Then there was like stories of him like making an ass of himself, and when he left WWE, he put on all that weight and shit, And now obviously he's on that fire cycle. He's turned it around. He's getting married. So it looks like it's nice to see that it seems like he's got his personal. Oh God, seems like he's got his personal life more on track from a outsider's point of view, anyway. So, yeah, man. Like I said, new man, Big Bill. He's big. He's in shape. He's not a terrible wrestler. Pop, Let's have some fun, man.
My only comments on this match are: I'm happy that Hook things outside of the Hook verse of Rampage, you know what I mean? Like he's doing stuff now. He suplexed Big Bill, which is all I really cared to see, and I'm happy to see it. It was awesome, great pop. Jungle Hook is a nice little team. I want Lee Moriarty to generally get better because I have belief in him as a wrestler. I want to stay as someone who believes in him. Garcia has found his way to a degree on the programming as now a viable mid-card act. He's a good worker. He's found a role for himself. Yuta is in the BCC. I want him to kind of catch up, so to speak. What that would entail, what that would need from him, I'm not sure. But I just want.
He needs like a big program, innit, bro? It's like that Garcia. He had his Danielson stuff, and then it's like Yuta had stuff with Moxley and entering the BCC. It's like Moriarty needs, to fucking have a series of sick matches with fucking Kenny Omega or something, So
I don't know if he's ready for Kenny, but yeah.
People could have said that about Yuta and Garcia. Like, this is what you do, bro. You throw them into the fire and you throw them into the water, bro. And if they swim and they get over. And if they don't, it's just another win for fucking Mox or whoever, it's easy, man.
We saw it in late 2021 where they gave Brian Pillman Jr. a shot with Max, and the results were fairly lukewarm, and then he just kind of scaled his pushback.
Yeah, man, you can do it. Speaking of Brian Pillman Jr.,
now he's gonna be in the Four Horsemen with Brock Anderson.
Yeah. I saw someone fantasy book like they're gonna recreate the Four Horsemen with Nick Aldis, Brock Anderson, Lee Johnson, and Brian Pillman Jr. And that's some
real shit right there.
Monty, I literally said to myself, "This is a stable for Monty and Monty only."
No, I think I was the one that said that.
That's a Monty.
I mean, good. Yeah.
I told the guy
we're cooking, bro.
I told the guys on the Worldwide show. Imagine Aldis in that Ric Flair role.
Monty, what's the funny thing? If Cody was still in AEW, that sounds like a stable that Cody would be like, all right, I'm going to work exclusively with these guys for 4 months in his own corner of the show.
Cody and Nick Aldis, create some magic, brother. They've done it once for the big gold, they were cooking, bro. But Custodian, Brian Pillman Jr. said, I don't know if I want Tony to buy WWE. I can't even go backstage to enjoy events. I got to buy tickets and I work there. Now I got to buy all event tickets. Wow. I mean, I'm feeling for you, bro. It's gonna
be tough, Brian. I don't know what they're gonna do with you.
Another one from Brian Pillman, legend, of course, $4.99. Them Hooker Boys versus 7 foot tall Tiger that can't learn anything was fun live. I bet it was fun live. It seems like the vibes were, the vibes were there. The vibes were immaculate. We got the big pop for the big spot that we obviously spoke about. It was a good time, man. Another $5. Yuzora Hart, appreciate you. If you had to bet money between Mira, Andrade, and FTR, who would you say is 100% going to wrestle in AEW in 2023?
FTR is way more likely than the other two. Way more likely.
No, I think
Andrade. I don't think Andrade is cooked.
He literally tried to get fired.
I know, yeah, but it's just it's like Eddie.
It's easily it's FTR by a mile on this one. Miro versus Andrade would be more interesting than I'd say slightly Miro.
Yours is probably the logical answer, I'm going off vibes,
No, I'm telling you, man. Andrade is sitting at home watching watching Prince and Vance and all these guys cook and like, oh man, I need to be a part of that. And he's gonna come back after his tricep fix.
Yeah, all he did was slap Sammy, you know.
He didn't knock him out.
You know, he's not the first person either.
I'm gonna slap Rob and you guys, and I'm gonna be like, it was fine.
No, but
I think you'll pop people.
So look, here's the thing. If IO slapped Ibu, well,
Please.
Yeah, it's cool, you know. But if you just slap someone,
Sammy Guevara is better at what he does than Ibu is what he does.
No, he's not.
I think he is.
Oh, here's my thing. It's not even just. It's the fact that he slapped him. The intention, like, it's gonna get me fired. Let's go.
He's like, I get to go home.
Yeah, it wasn't like I just lost my cool and slapped the guy like Eddie Kingston did. Like, he was literally like, I want to be on SmackDown in 2 days. Like,
I know TK isn't firing people. How can I get out of this?
Yes.
I'll slap Sammy.
Well,
You should have slapped Eddie. That'll get you fired.
You know.
What did you say, Bossy?
Said he's ungovernable, so you know.
He's ungovernable. He's ingobernable.
Ingobernable. Yeah.
You know, you can't control him, you know. Masfan 84 199. If TK buys WWE, he needs to put Booker T over Triple H.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I love it again. I love the idea that Triple H has no choice or agency in any of this. He has to go to work.
Millionaire Triple H has to walk out there, right? And
He has to wrestle. He has to be the game. He has to be the king of kings, and he has to fucking lose to Booker.
Even though he's like, officially retired because he nearly died, you know.
Because he had a heart attack.
Literally, his heart nearly just exploded on him, you know. But hey,
I can't wait to see Mikey Ruckus' takes on these WWE themes.
Oh fuck!
As if there's like, what are good WWE themes right now?
Wait, what did you say, Parker?
Good
Johnny Gargano.
Are there good WWE themes right now?
The Usos.
Maybe, I guess the Usos. I guess.
Usos is beef, bro.
Day one entry.
You're not old enough to admit where it's like, it's like, it ain't paranoia. It's the Usos.
I'm like, oh, okay. I thought it was paranoia.
And if Tony actually does get WWE, we can actually get the Usos versus the Briscoes and the Bucks.
Oh, Usos versus Briscoes.
I'll pass.
Listen, mate. That's some real nigga shit right there. You know, two black teams going at it.
I still can't believe Joe thinks that the Briscoes can beat up the Usos can beat up the Briscoes in a real fight.
Joe loves that one.
You're Samoan.
What is a good theme in WWE? Like, I'm trying to think of.
There's all like who bro. What? That's why I was like, it's gonna be bad regardless. Does Roman still have that thing that's like, it's like oddly like mysterious? Is that still Romans?
Yeah.
That's
Brock,
a shitter theme. I can't
Brock
believe
Lesnar. Cody Rhodes.
Cody
Rhodes. That's a good theme.
Cody Rhodes is heat, bro.
Yeah, that's a good theme.
Oh, Nakamura.
Becky's theme is good.
Oh no. Mikey Ruckus getting a remix of Nakamura's theme. Oh,
Edge.
There'd be rap over it.
Yo, I was gonna say, okay, someone hum the Nakamura theme. I'm gonna do Mikey Ruckus's rap on it. Go.
No, I don't want to hear it.
It's Nakamura's time. It's Nakamura's time. Yeah, it's Nakamura's time. Yeah.
She's gonna keep saying,
"Who's that? Who are you doing right now? Who's is that? Is that Dante Martin? You're doing Top Flight.
Kevin Owens is a good one. We're getting heat in here.
We're going for a ride.
We are getting heat. I'm shouting out the live chat. We're getting some heat. You know what I mean? You're reminding me.
That Top Flight theme
Edge.
fucking sucks.
It's gonna be something dumb.
Get the king for ride.
Yo, okay, can we? Yo, why is nobody playing out, bro? Like the Fuse, that AEW theme song is like really bad, though. Like,
no, go Ignite.
And going there, right? Never been a ride with the best of life. Never get the boom with the beat, no right. Like the fuse, bring the boom, dynamite.
Oh my god. I can't. Wow, the top flight theme is so bad. I can't stop
The
thinking
top
of
flight,
Stan and his
the
fucking
top
Ty
flight
Conti
theme.
and
Yo, Parker. My job is limitless. You can compare to this.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My time. My
Who am
time.
Oh, fuck, keep it in, boy.
Who am I?
Shit to the fire, pen into the fire.
Leave. Leave.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Mikey, sort it out, man. Come on,
That's what I'm saying.
send
though.
them my way.
Bro, it's
If we
talking to
laugh at
Mikey,
it-
talking to Mikey Ruckers.
Oh
Takesh
my
there.
god.
Oh,
The
the
true
Takesha theme. Oh my god, man. Can't
Wait,
believe you
hold on.
ruined Takesha's theme.
But I'm telling you, if you had Nakamura, you would literally hear like, "I bring the wreck. I kick you in the neck. Nakamura time." With the
King of
neck."
Strong Style.
King of Strong Style, Nakamura time. And just go.
Nakamura time.
Oh my god!
Now I'm just gonna be the whole rest of the show is just gonna be just be me thinking about fucking Mikey Ruckers.
Just
my
blurting out random lines from Mikey.
And then when they do the live,
Revolution will not be televised.
and then when they
No,
and then when they do Nakamura's
That
Nakamura's theme, it's gonna
Sorry.
be an electric guitar, not a violin.
Yeah. The Ricky Starks theme is good,
That's a good theme.
but
That's a good
in the beginning doesn't make sense. The Revolution will not be televised on a TV show.
Oh no, man. But yeah, Takeshita, as I was saying, he's got a new theme by Ruckus, man.
I didn't notice it. I need to go back and hear it. I know all these themes through like Dark and stuff like
Oh.
that when I reviewed Dark. Yeah.
Takeshita versus Danielson, they hit each other very hard.
It was a great match.
People were dropped on heads. People took bumps.
Mhm.
Realness was displayed. Blood, sweat, and tears were shed. MJF was borderline racist before the match, according to Twitter.
I don't even want to know what he's.
What
gonna
actually
say
happened, bro?
next
Because
week.
I went downstairs for
Oh.
a snack. You know,
Oh, okay, all right. I'm gonna give you the recap. So here's what happens.
all I saw was Twitter calling him racist.
MJF came out and he was just like, "Hey, your name, hold on, take a shitter." And then he was like, "Yeah, I've never actually watched it, pal. I hear you're big on Reddit and Twitter. And he said when he goes back and watches the show, he only watches his segments. And then I forgot what he said, but then Takeshita cut up he said something in Japanese to him, like he was just like, and the crowd popped, right? And then he was just kind of like, "Sorry, pal. In my company, we speak American." And the fans booed, and Jesus Christ. and then Takeshita shoved him. He stumbled a little bit. He's like, whoa, and then he turned his attention over to what's this guy's name? Ken Jeong, the actor Ken Jeong. And he was shitting on him for being a washed actor, and he's making fun of his show being canceled. And then he turned his attention to Freddie Prinze Jr. And he was just like, and then there's Freddie Prinze Jr., a Scooby Dooby douchebag. And he was shitting on him. Oh, the other thing, he was like, "I'm hearing a lot of talk. I can't last 60 minutes. Huh. Ask your mother that." And he's like, just kidding.
This is all bars, dude.
Ask your mother and your sisters.
Like it's supposed, guys. Okay, it's okay. Hold on a second. It's all right to not like MJF, but stop it. But it's all right. It's all right to not like MJF. That's like fine. have to realize that he's doing it to be like it's like self-mocking. He's a heel. He's not trying to be fucking epic subversive, like, whoa, did he go there? He's trying to make himself look like an idiot for like
he's a heel.
in fact, he's a heel. He's trying to get heat for the heel program, and it's okay if you didn't like the content of the Takeshita thing, that's fine. But they were obviously going to do an MJF Takeshita match for, and maybe even a program for the world title after Revolution, which is awesome. But it's like, and obviously Takeshita was like fine with it, like he okayed it ahead of time. So yeah, I don't know, and it's okay if you didn't like the promo, that's fine. But don't be like a fucking idiot and think that like that. Don't get worked by just like the fucking face value words.
Yeah,
of what
it's like
he's
I
saying.
saw a tweet like, to what Parker was just saying. It's like I saw a tweet earlier, and it was someone posted. It was like an old MLW promo where MJF was like he's getting the shit booed out of him, and it must have been like a border state or something. Yeah, and MJF is like, Trump should build that wall, and it's like. And the caption was like MJFC. He's always been a dirty racist. And it's like, bro, he's he's purposely being a fucking idiot, you know. Like,
before I get my
Chris Statlerner has always been a literal alien.
Listen, before I say anything, Parker, it's funny you mentioned the whole thing about him intentionally being an idiot because I showed my brother the promo. My brother who does not watch wrestling anymore, and he was just kind of like. The fact that he literally said the phrase "We speak American" here is clearly him like he's portraying like a fucking like ignorant dumbass because it's like
he's trying to be Disco Inferno because that's literally what Disco Inferno said like 3 days ago about Takeshita.
We speak American, all right. We're like,
he's like again. I get okay. Like I said, I get if you think it was bad, but like I get if you didn't enjoy it, but don't get fucking worked by a promo, dude. It's not him being racist.
That's the thing. So for me, right? It's like if you thought that because I was among these people. If you thought that
you don't like go away heat, if that's not your thing, by all means.
Well, it's not even that though. But like if you think that, if you thought that the material was very much low hanging fruit and I kind of want to just get to the match, totally fine, right? But if you genuinely watched that promo and your takeaway was. Max doesn't like Japanese people. Oh my god, like that's a little ridiculous.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Now I'll say this about the promo. On a structure, I'm going to comment on the structure of the segment because in terms of content,
make it quick then.
Okay. I would have recommended this because Max kind of just shat on everybody, and then the match happened, right? And because all the attention from the crowd was on him, when the match started, it kind of felt like weird, like as if like. We were just left with this thing in the ring after we were focused on Max the whole time. And what I would have suggested personally, is in the middle of the rant, like mid-promo, Takeshita would have just been like, yo, fuck this shit, right? And just like punch him in the face or something, lariat him out the ring, right? Max, he's going to be the heel that shows ass. He'll kind of like stumble around like, what the fuck? He did that to me? Like, what? He'll look at the crowd, he'll point him like, shut up! Fuck you, he did that shit to me, right? And then at that point, Takeshita grabs the mic and he's just like, I am here to wrestle! Bryan Danielson, come on out here! The crowd pops for it, right? They're ready for the match. Danielson comes out, right? They have a great match. We get the pinfall, right? Danielson celebrating. I was built for this, and for this. I can never feel anything else. And then Max comes in. Right? And
I agree. I didn't like putting it right in front of the match. Yeah.
Right. And Dan Max shows up like a spiteful dickhead. Kicks Danielson in the balls or something, and he's just kind of like, I never lose, or whatever the fuck he does. He gets his heat back.
My take on the promo was I didn't like it. I mean, I just thought it was kind of annoying that they put it before the match, and when the match started, I was just like, man, I don't really care like about it. And then once they started throwing bombs with each other right away, I was like, okay, I'm back into it. But the first couple of seconds, I was just like, it's whatever. And then I just kind of was like, I thought that he just like belittled Takeshita before the match even started. I know that's what he was supposed to do, but it's just like Takeshita didn't even get his heat back or he didn't do anything, he just let him talk his shit to him, and
he said kiss my ass and the crowd popped, but that was probably as close as he got, but yeah, man, don't get worked. I don't think MJF is legitimately racist.
Of course not.
I think he's just deliberately, like Park said, playing a fucking idiot. Someone said in the live chat, MJF just turned on his inner JBL. You know. It's
Yeah,
just
like
not-
he obviously sees himself as like super classic territory heel who is like, you cannot cheer for this man, he needs to be booed. And that's what the segments and the tickets and everything and the pay-per-view buys and all that are based on, is like you wanting to see this guy get his fucking ass kicked and get vanquished. And that's why you do an hour match with him, because it's like, oh, can he go an hour? Oh my goodness. And so like, yeah, if you didn't like the content, that's fine. But at least
it's all these people.
It's pretty obvious where. Yeah, it's pretty obvious where he's going.
Yeah, $10 from Far 222. Appreciate him as always. I guess 53,000 people got worked by MJF. He lost 5% of the viewers. The entire Discord voice chat wanting to get to the match. The heat from the match was killed for like a few minutes. Listen, we're not saying, none of us here has said that the actual promo was good. I don't think. I'm not anyway. So we're just saying, I don't think, because there is people out there like there is, like I said, I've seen
people who are like, this is like one of the worst promos I've ever seen.
Legitimately think that he's racist. Like that is,
I'm actually kind of interested to see. I don't really want him to do the same promo he did, like come out before the Bandito match next week. But at the same time, kind of interested to see what he's gonna say about Bandito.
I mean, all right. This is what he's gonna say. Bandito, huh? From Triple A? I'd rather talk to Triple H.
Yo, that's a bar.
Stop it. Okay. Enough of
what I'm gonna be doing in 2024? Having a bidding war.
Anyway, next up we have Juice Robinson wants to face Darby Allin for the TNT title on Rampage. I'm sure that'll be a good match.
By the way, I love the idea. I love your support and everything like that, but I love the idea that like a segment that had multiple commercial breaks and was all like video packages up until MJF shows up is like, that's the reason why it lost all the viewers. Like, come on, bro. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Soraya and Tony Storm versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. A match with a lot of eyes on it, a lot of discourse around it, a lot of speculation, a lot of even reports by some. Obviously, I'm talking about Mercedes Moné potentially showing up and being a partner or interrupting or doing something. Mercedes Moné did not show up. I thought the tag match itself was a good time. I popped quite a lot.
It was pretty good.
But yeah, man, we didn't. Obviously, there was the whole Shida, like she tried to slide the kendo stick into the ring to help the baby faces, but it ended up with the heels, and it was like it looked like Shida made a genuine mistake, but because it planted last week, it was like, didn't she mean to do it, blah blah blah. So I guess that was like the angle that they did there. But yeah, the heels got the win, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Again, obviously no Mercedes after the match. I mean, a lot of people were expecting Mercedes, man. I don't think the expectations were exactly managed perfectly, but at the same time, it's not, like I said, there was definitely flags there for the people who, like myself, not to put myself over again for this, but like, there wasn't really a lot there to think that she was coming in, other than a few reports saying that she hasn't, nobody's denied it. You know what I mean? And then Sean Rossap never really done like a big report about it. I thought that was a flag, because it was like, if she's coming in, surely Sean would drop some sort of like bat signal. You know what I mean? Like he has with literally every other signing. Even though Mike PW Insider, even though he's like mainly WWE news, I found it quite interesting that he had literally like not a word to say about the whole thing. Because obviously he's a very reliable reporter. And then you've got Dave, and I know a lot of people would not put Dave in the reliable category, but I definitely get a lot of my news from him, and we aggregate a lot of his news and quotes on the WrestlePurists website. And Dave seemed fucking crazy confident on it, bro. He was just like, "Yeah, she's not coming," she's not coming in. So I kind of, I was definitely leaning towards that, and yeah, man, I just don't. There was definitely hints. Like I don't know how people on Twitter today have kind of done like, well, if you was expecting Sasha Banks, that's your fault, and it's like, bro. Yeah. Obviously, we spoke about all this earlier because it's obviously such a big subject, but
AEW made no hints, and they didn't even say her name.
You should not want. You should have no expectations. You should never hope for anything better than what you have. Go back to November when Omega did a video package at New Japan and announced that he was coming after Ospreay. Don't hope for that. Don't hope for that. Even though they've been feuding, they've been teasing it and talking about it and feuding over it. Don't hang on. If you get your hopes up, don't do it.
Not allowed, you know.
If you're mad, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
It's your fault, all right? It's your fault.
You know we're going for a ride.
Yo, you know what we need to Monty, you know what we need to implement in 2023? Buttons that just hit certain sound bites.
Yeah, we need to get Rob's soundboard like to a better level. You know,
listen, we need a Funk Master Flex Bomb. We need, and now we going for a ride.
The top float one's right. Top one.
It's just so bad.
No. You know what we need also? The part in the Keith Lee song where he just goes, Lee!
No, the Keith Lee one. The Keith Lee one.
The fire!
Joe has that exact clip where it's like, "Who am I, Keith Lee?" To the fire. Joe's got like that whole intro that he plays all the time with the soundboard.
Oh my god!
Bro, I need to look at the. No. You know what's the funniest one? No one's gonna remember this. It's Layla Hirsch's theme. It starts out with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
So super like punk shit at the start. What does it say at the start of Jade?
What is it? I don't remember. How does Jade's go?
Jade has a good theme.
Jade Cargill.
Who else we got, bro? Who else? We just go through the whole.
I'm just get out about him now.
It's very unfortunate Thunder Rosa has a good theme.
Powerhouse. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yo, let me see if this is the Layla Hirsch theme. Oh, it is. All right, ready? I'm gonna play the movie.
Oh no, exactly.
That's not words at all.
Come on. My grind is legitimate.
Better well.
Thunder Rosa's theme isn't that good, man. It's just.
Yeah, that's what it means, you know what I mean?
That's pretty good. That's really all you need.
What's Tony Storm's go like now? Far $5. More mention are still dying for having hope, and TK doing nothing to stop it. But maybe we got to start thinking like a wrestling fan. You know, imagine thinking like a wrestling fan and having expectations and hopes and dreams.
Nope,
you know,
nope, better not.
Brian Cage.
Tony Storm's theme song is just an aggregation of the song Barracuda.
That's why it rules.
Barracuda.
Tony's is dope. Okay. You can have Tony one.
Oh, Jamie Hayter's theme's good. Britt Baker's theme is good. The Young Bucks theme's good now.
The Young Bucks have a good. Wait, no. Isn't the main Young Bucks theme Super Kick Party?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good thing. That's a pretty good thing.
Kenny's is good.
Who?
Do you guys remember Proud and Powerful? If I wasn't proud, then I wouldn't be powerful.
And then at Wall
then I wouldn't be powerful.
And then they had it starts off with the pit. It starts with the pit bulls barking and everything like that.
That shit sucked.
No, that's always gas.
If I wasn't proud, then I wouldn't be powerful.
Hey, Parker, keep saying that in the background. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna do the verse. Go.
If I wasn't proud, then I
Put your
wouldn't
hands
be
up.
powerful.
We don't do them gang signs. Stand back, shorty. Watch me bang mine. Like it's.
Not talking about game
Wait,
signs,
even-
we're talking about banging one.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was about to say fucking Eddie, bro.
No,
I love Eddie. Yeah.
Have you heard?
Cold.
That's
Cold.
You better
Have you-
buckle up.
You see me playing that? You even knuckle up.
But have you guys heard the second part of that song?
No.
Bro, the second part of it is a Bone Thugs and Harmony song.
Oh my god. It just sounds like fake DMX to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then once you, then I think
it's
a minute
really- it's
into it, it
supposed to
turns
sound
into a
like
Bone
DMX.
Thugs.
When you see me
Oh
staring
my
at you, better
god, is that
knuckle up.
private
Come on.
party?
Private Party,
That
that's a
song
good
rules.
Yeah,
That's
pop.
a good
Shots. What we need? Shots.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hell yeah.
Oh, I also like I like Matt Hardy's.
How are we doing this again?
I
This is
know.
the- this is the best
So acclaimed one is good. The beat for it is like such a like shitter like
Shitter
beat.
beat.
But
we've
for some reason that like bass line, just that synth bass just hits. It's so and then, listen, it's like so infectious.
Be acclaimed. Monty, I'll tell you this. I've gotten literally 4 DMs saying this bit is incredible.
It's so
Bro,
good.
it's
Oh my god. It's so, because there's so many bad ones.
yeah, there's it's unreal how many there is,
It's
bro.
wrestling. It's just one of those things that if you like take 2 seconds to step outside of like the wrestling expectations and wrestling,
And listen to
bubble,
real
you're
music.
like, what the fuck is that? That's why I literally never listen to wrestling music. Like when I see, like, no offense to anybody who's like who does this, who's listening, but when I see your fucking Spotify Wrapped and your top artists are like CFOS and like Mikey Ruckus, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What? And I listen to K-pop, and so it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? Go listen to
Bro.
anything.
Yo, guys. When Brody King and Malachi team, they're called the Kings of the Black Throne. Have you guys actually heard their theme song, their duo theme?
Bro, what's the Brian Cage one, man? I can't remember.
Wait, hold on. Listen,
I can't
listen.
remember.
Guys, the Malachi and Brody theme is just Kings of the Black Throne. Kings of the Black Throne.
But at least the House of Black's theme songs are awesome. Like, they just sound better and cooler than any other theme on the show.
Darby's got a good theme.
Oh no, but
The best one's Top Flight, bro. We're still not topping that.
You get it? They're going for a ride because they're flying like a flight.
Yo, in before Mikey Ruckus changes Darby, and it's like, I'm a daredevil, I'm fearless, I'm
Sometimes I jump off the fucking skateboard.
Oh, fuck, I
Is
just
he listening to
remembered.
Brian Cage?
What's Brian?
He goes, oh, fuck.
He's like dying over there. Yeah, I'm imagining some pop punk
He goes
for
like,
Darby.
boom, 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 boom. And he's like, I am a machine. I'll play. As soon as you hear it, you'll just come back with us. Okay.
Oh my god, dude, Mikey, some of these are so on the fucking nose, man. Come on, give us a little bit. Come on.
Even Roosh is funny. Roosh.
Yeah, even Roosh, bro. Crazy.
Yo, you know what's the actual? You know what's a beast theme in wrestling? It's in WWE. Monty, I don't care what you say. If you believe yours is the only way.
Who is that again?
Edge's alternate theme and the old
Oh,
Judgment
yeah,
Day
yeah,
theme. I think it's changed or something.
Parker, when Judgment Day first became a thing, at the beginning of the song, right, it goes like, oh.
No, that song's sick. I watch it on pay-per-views. It's awesome.
No, I was gonna say at the beginning when Edge is still in the stable, you hear Edge's voice go, "You think you know me? Well, you don't." It's like,
That's so much better than 90% Mike Rose. Like, come on.
I feel like Dustin Rhodes has got a banger, but Where is it?
Man, I'm telling you, Johnny Gargano's is one of the best themes in WWE too.
Isn't it still his same one that he always had?
Yeah.
No, so Parker, they changed it. They have a man singing it now because before it was like,
No way.
Oh, it's a man? That's bullshit. The original was good.
And so now they changed it to a guy going like, no, sing, no one else.
Oh, that sucks. I hate that. WWE, god damn it. Come on.
This rebel heart.
Takeshita's roster picture looks kind of like weird. I don't know why. He's like doing this. He's kind of like pouting, and it's like I don't know. It just sticks out to the rest. But look, you got Keith there.
Mhm.
Okay.
You got Kenny.
Okay.
Keep Sabian.
Okay.
Takeshita.
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing?
It's because he's looking up. He's looking up. That's why.
Oh no, man. Yeah, man. Okay,
Wow.
so Dynamite.
Wait.
Dynamite
One
was
more.
on.
One more.
Bro, we're nearly 3 hours, man.
We're at the end of the show. Listen, real quick, Parker. If Punk had to dump the cult of personality and Mikey Ruggles had to do a CM Punk, what would it be? Would it be like, I am straight edge?
It'd be like, it would start off with him being like, I'm back.
Straight to the edge. I'm straight edge. Straight from Chicago. Straight
I was like, I'm from the Shy, but I'm not shy.
Something about Second City Saint.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Second
I
City.
am like the city, sick and sun. I'm not a different song with the pen. I'm straight edge.
He needs to go back to WWE and use the kill switch engaged.
And it'll be called like on YouTube. It'll be called like "Put You to Sleep" or some shit. Like
Oh my!
Time to sleep. Back to sleep.
yeah. Like,
That'd be good.
all
All right, Dynamite.
Yeah,
Dynamite. Yeah.
I got tears in my eyes.
I think we've got a super chat or two. 1 minute. The
Oh
Men of
my
the Year
God.
theme, bro. Fuck. People just keep dropping them.
End of the year. I don't remember it.
You don't remember it?
No.
He's like, Reese.
Hold on, let me.
He's like, bro.
I know.
I think he's for the
sound.
same. No, but it's like reach up to the sky or whatever the fuck it's saying it.
Here's the Men of the Year thing. I don't recognize it so far.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
I still can't believe he ruined Jeff Jarrett's name.
He
I
ruined
know
it.
that took some effort on his behalf. Far $5. My mention. No, I said that. That's the one already. Ready? I read that one. Okay. Sorry, Far. Jan Theodore, $5 Canadian. Appreciate it. These impressions are hilarious. I'm doing incredible stuff. Great to have the WrestlePurists Ace back with Hangman back.
Thank you, Jan.
It's
Appreciate it,
okay.
man.
The podcast got a bit long with him, but it's just kind of how it is. And, much like Dynamite, we now have limited time left for our, our closing segments, which is Dynamite. I feel like I'm missing something, man, but I'm also
The JAS.
Yeah, the JAS segment. But I feel like is there any?
No,
There was the
you're not
Orange
missing
Cassidy
anything,
promo that me and Ayo shot on in the group chat. But
Yeah, you're not missing
Shut
anything.
up.
as I said, that wasn't exactly like a huge relevant part of the show. There was a JAS segment where Ricky Starks and Andretti. Well, JAS came up first and they cut their promo.
Fucking sucked.
Ricky Starks and Andretti come out. They kind of go back and forth, and then it's this whole like 10-minute thing of going back and
Such a
forth.
fucking
and,
way. Everybody just wanted to get to the.
Did you
main event.
see?
Yeah.
Did you see the part where Andretti said something about Jericho or whatever, or about Sammy Guevara and fucking and Garcia goes to grab a mic and he's like yo, and he's like his mic's not working, but you can still hear him fully through the camera, so it comes across really weird. And he looks at his mic, he's like, is this thing gone? And Jericho, like a fucking pro,
He's just fucking slyly hands it over.
like right in front of the
Okay.
camera, bro. Like he's just like a pro,
He's
just
such a
slides
beast.
it
Oh my
in.
God.
Action Andretti might be the worst promo of all time. He was awesome when he wrestled against Jericho. What the fuck, dude? Go talk to somebody. It was not great.
Park, you know what I noticed about like guys who are like green on the mic is they all yell awkwardly. Like they just sound weird when they scream.
I am going to get you, Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
it's like they
everything
never
they say is like they speak, I don't know how to explain. Like the speaking of rhythm, like a really
It's
weird
weird.
rhythm, bro.
Yeah.
Like, everything goes like yeah.
They don't know what line to emphasize and shit. Like it's
Yeah,
just
so
like,
they end up emphasizing like something in every sentence, and everything almost sounds like they're telling a joke, and it'll be like, Sammy, he can't control his girl, like, and it's just like, okay, well, like, I don't know, he's new, he's young, at least he seems like he's confident in talking into a mic, if that makes sense.
The commenters
very,
were
very
mad
different.
at me. I'm making a joke. He did really bad, but I don't think he's the worst promo of all time.
That would be the Miz.
Yeah, that might have been.
That would be the Miz. That would be Mike the Miz Mizanin. JBL.
Showtown Spurs $5. Jake Hager Cook stocks on the moat. Can't believe it. I mean, bro, like past it, man. Everyone that I spoke to at least was just kind of waiting for the main event at this point.
Yeah.
And the segment went like 10 minutes, including the ad break as well. It's like we only got the 10-minute main event, which we'll get to now. I want to get this right. Escalera de la Muerte. Is that right?
Escalera de la Muerte.
Muerte. Okay. It was a ladder match. Yeah, man, the Wayward Sons, the Elite versus Death Triangle. Obviously, the decider in the best of 7 series for the Trios Championships. They, there was only like 10 minutes left, but like 10 minutes, you tell the Elite they've got 10 minutes with these fucking best luchas in the world right now, and shit, and Pac, and fucking, you're gonna get a crackhead fucking sprint of crazy spots and just cocaine wrestling. I thought it was awesome.
That the diminished time.
It was a bit too. There wasn't any direction to it, frankly.
No, quietly. I have to say that the lesser time made the match better. In fact, I thought this was a cracking class main event.
You thought it was class? Really? I thought it was still too long. I thought it was still too fucking long.
I thought it was very class. You see, Darby versus Joe last week, the 8-minute match. That was the match of the year.
That's a perfect length. Honestly, a bit too long for me though.
A little bit. I think a TV main event, right? I think a TV main event needs to be about 6 to 7 minutes, right?
I think it needs to be about 2.5 minutes.
Now,
look at all this Brit rest slander and shit. I personally couldn't have ever imagined.
I hate Penta because I don't like Mexican people, and I don't like what they do.
Frankly, watching the spots in this match, I thought it was quite okay at best, right? I would give this. I would say it's a match of the year candidate, and I'm gonna give it 3.25 stars, right?
You saying it was just okay, and then in your next sentence saying it was a match of the year candidate. Why is that so funny?
No, the funniest part is when they're like, it was all right. There's some solid selling and some good heat segments. One of the better matches of the year. 3.25.
One of the better, yeah. I just feel like
that's the end of the company. You know what I mean? All these Brit rest fellas. I personally couldn't ever imagine being British in a wrestling fan. I think that's crazy. But yeah, man, the main event, it was a fucking crazy time. There was a one-winged angel off the ladder. There was multiple table spots. There was fucking everything. As much as you can pack into as much as you can pack into a 10-minute match, like
putting yourself through a table on the outside. It was great.
It was a very solid match.
Where would you rank it? Manning,
I didn't watch 5, 6, or 7.
Oh shit!
You did watch 4, 5, or 6?
Or sorry, 4, 5, or 6. I didn't watch 4, 5, or 6. I thought I thought all of them were so fucking good. Like all 4 that I watched. Like it's really hard to rank them. The one in Chicago was pretty fucking unbelievable.
Super
though.
fun. That was really fun.
Yeah.
That was my personal favorite. That'll be like
Yeah.
the one
That is
I'll
easily the
remember
most memorable for me.
Yeah. I think when this is all said and done, the most memorable for me are probably 1, 2, and 6 was the False Count Anywhere, correct, Monty?
What was that,
the
bro?
one where 6 was the False Count Anywhere, right?
Yeah, 6 was San Antonio.
Yeah. I that and the first 2 are the most memorable to me. Probably, I gotta watch this one back, to be honest, because I was so stunned by Mercedes that it kind of like it kind of threw me off this main event a little bit. I can't lie, but look, this was really good.
Such a child.
Really no, just, you know, but
I was kind of off my game, bro.
it's kind of that tone.
Forrest Gump, you run my mind.
Parky, man, these guys are working hard, but I just the Mercedes thing just kind of
Just fucking sad about Sasha, bro.
Regal 4.99.
You got to read that with the accent, Parker. Go ahead.
Parker, my scrumptious toasted marshmallow. Love the accent, mate. Iba, assalamu alaikum.
But shout out Regal.
Thank you, Regal.
Thank you, Regal. Regal, how much longer your employment in World Wrestling Entertainment is going to last, but I wish you the best of luck.
You ain't welcome back.
And Regal, please make sure that Braun Strowman doesn't beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship this week on SmackDown. You know,
Monty, you still have the picture for Regal?
Yeah, I should do.
Regal's going to tell Paul Levesque, oh, I think Gunther's bloody class. Yeah, I think he's a cracker. I don't get this meme. Is that just a normal screenshot? Like I don't get it. Am I missing something?
Yes.
Yeah, oh, bro, use your eyes.
Regal in an office?
I can't. This is preposterous.
Bro, he done this yesterday.
It's the queen as a snake.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, like,
It's a lizard first.
Yeah, but he's just not with it, you know. He's not down with the kids, bro.
That was crazy to me.
I haven't gone too much, man. You know.
It's known. Regal's a known lizard guy.
Jesus Christ! All I know is now that I'm back, all I can expect is that.
Can someone screenshot what is on right now and post, including the comment? That's so good to me.
All I know, Parker, is that now I'm back on WrestlePurists podcast. I'm gonna be going through a rap. You know what we're forgetting to point out, Parker? After he says that, the beat goes boom 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 boom.
Okay, let me get back on screen. What am I doing? Yeah. We have a $50 super chat from Far, always supporting us and just being the man, of course. Strong Wrestling, $50 super chat. Strong Wrestling episode of Dynamite. Non-wrestling segments besides Cole Return felt like they were done to pop the Warner Brother Discovery's executives in attendance. It's just crazy we are getting this kind of wrestling on cable TV weekly. Cherish these times.
I agree. I
think the level of wrestling the level of wrestling in AEW Dynamite is so cracking. It's so high that all I can say is, Tony Khan, thank you, because you saved professional wrestling from those bloody wankers, the McMahons.
Those bloody Saudi blood money.
Oh man, it's not. Oh fuck.
Money.
The Saudi business talk again.
Money.
See, I think even I'll put Far's comment back up because obviously it was a big one. Showtime Spurs. Back up just sees the normal Queen because he's also a lizard. I'm on board with that conspiracy, bro. You know?
That sounds about right. You ever seen his Instagram?
Bro, it's unsettling, you know. Unsettling place he be his Instagram.
Monty every 2 weeks just goes Instagram. Weird vibes.
Weird vibes, bro.
It's true. We were talking about it before you got here.
It's weird, bro.
No, yesterday I told Monty, I said, I'd be dressing, man. And the Parker was like, unbuttoned shirt and wears a chain. I be dressing.
Then
Bro.
there's a screenshot of his Instagram, and every single shirt is him with his head tilted this way, going like, and then he's got an unbutton and a chain, and that's all he does.
Oh
That's
my
what he does,
fucking
bro.
God.
It's his gimme. Let's wrap this up, though. I think we can
Bro,
get.
are we
I
not
think
done?
we can.
Are we not done?
No, I mean like the
Uh,
wrap up the podcast. So Ibu, you want to make your
Oh.
announcement?
Yeah.
We'll do the plugs and we'll bounce out of here. So stay for the next few minutes because we got a big announcement coming. Ibu, talk to the people.
All right, listen, guys. I have been gone for a little bit, right? You know, but it wasn't all vacation time. I have been working on some stuff in the background, and I'm happy to announce, guys, that coming soon, probably by the end of this month, hopefully, fingers crossed. Cross your fingers, Parker. Drum roll, please.
Bum, 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 bum,
Coming
bum,
soon.
bum, bum,
All right,
bum,
all right,
bum, bum, bum.
Coming soon to WrestlePurists' channel. The road to WrestleMania. What I'm going to be doing is essentially.
Say that again. You cut out. You cut out. He's like, yeah, man went. Coming to WrestlePurists.
Oh, you guys didn't hear that?
No.
So, wait, what? Take it from the. All right, here we go.
Listen, guys.
Stop.
All right, listen, guys. Coming to the channel, you know, I know you guys love the podcast, you love the live streams. I love them too. I'm going to be doing them fairly consistently going forward. But that's not the only thing I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be diversifying the output of content on the channel. And coming soon to WrestlePurists, hopefully the first part by the end of January, is the road through WrestleMania Part 1. Essentially, it's going to be a video series where I basically give my big takeaways examining all the WrestleMania matches that I watched over 2022. As you guys know, I've been doing the review series. I've been plugging them on the channel. I've been watching the shows and reviewing my matches and stuff like that. And so I thought the best possible payoff is a video review series. And so you can expect me, you can expect Monty. We're going to be talking about a lot of what I've been watching. We're going to break it up into parts, and the parts are going to cover very broad topics, with the first one generally being basically why the WWF was successful as a product and worked in the 1980s during that whole golden age period. And so we're going to take a look at that, talk about it, and it's going to be us talking. You're going to see some nice visual aids. There's going to be some editing and on that shit and stuff. So it should be fun. I'm very excited for it, and you can expect the first part again by the end of the month. So the road through WrestleMania, coming to WrestlePurists.
Yeah, there it is, man. No, we're gonna start getting into more video essays and stuff like that. So like, yeah, we're gonna get more into like video essays and shit like that. So like, yeah, if you've followed us from like day one, massively appreciate. Yeah, that's amazing. But all we've done, as you pretty much know, is these live streams, besides the 2 interviews that we did with Jonathan Gresham and Melina, which were pre-recorded, but they were pretty much the same format. Like, we just hit live, and it's just kind of us talking for like an hour, 2 hours or something. We want to do like actual, YouTube videos, if that makes sense. So like 10, 15-minute videos that'll cover a broad subject, and we'll try and, like do things properly, do you know what I mean, and make sure stuff is properly researched, or do you know what I mean, like it won't just be like your content farming, sort of shit that you see a lot in like on wrestling YouTube pages, where they just kind of like do lists of everything. Like if we do a list, like we're gonna be like fucking, it'll be like the most researched top 10 list you've ever seen, do you know what I mean? So yeah, we want to do like more
face, and this is your top 10 Royal Rumble eliminations.
Yeah, but yeah, man, we want to do YouTube content, video essays, those sort of things. Obviously, Backup Hangman's going to do his like WrestleMania based, video essays and stuff. So that's something to look forward to, definitely, and just kind of keep an eye out for that sort of stuff on the YouTube channel in 2023, because we've got the WrestleMania series coming from Backup Hangman. We've got some stuff that we're going to be working on for kind of videos basically. So
I want it to be Joe Holbert speaking in a masturbatory tone as soft elevator music plays in the background.
Same with Marks. We'll probably do one. Maybe we'll do one for. We'll do one for Bianca. We'll maybe do one for like promotion. You know. But yeah, we'll do like there'll be like some short, cool videos on our channel. You know, it won't just be these 3-hour fucking live streams like today and stuff like that. Because you know,
I told you I was gonna be 3 hours too.
Hell yeah.
bro. It's backup hangman, bro. What do you want? He shows up 40 minutes late. He talks over people. He waffles. He's just fucking. He's disruptive to the locker room.
I'm fucking back, everybody. Thank you so much for watching the WrestlePurists podcast. You know what I mean? Be sure to like the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you haven't. I'm freaking back. Expect to see me on Mondays and Thursdays and maybe a Friday or two, you know, especially considering the status of one of our EVPs. But again, I'll be back next week. I'm challenging AO to a debate, and the status of his board membership is on the line. All right. So again, comment on the video, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, man. And so for Parker, for Manny, for Monty, I'm Ibu of WrestlePurists. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Watch them go live and follow Manny the Hooper on Twitter.